fans certainly are. Bob Friedman, as we come back for our national anthem by the Central Bucks West Marching Band. Everybody's ready.
They are. Talking again about the offense at CBW, as we were talking about the offense before the national anthem in the break. Corey Potter, quarterback, hasn't been tested on throwing the ball too much, has been able to do it when needed to. Dave Armstrong, of course, the big guy, headed to Michigan, 6'4", 255, running back. But I think tonight it's going to be a lot on Scott Warden and Chris Ortiz's backs, because they're going to be centering on Mr. Armstrong. And when they've done, the teams have done that, Ortiz and Warden and Potter have come up big in the past.
Two questions. You've seen these two teams a lot, West in particular. West has not played from behind a lot this year. How will that impact on them if they do get behind? And secondly, what's the one-night delay mean to either team? Big advantage either way?
I don't think it's an advantage either way. Both teams are well coached and well prepared. But last night, tonight, or next Saturday, it wouldn't make that much of a difference. As far as playing from behind, I think that is a big factor. CB West has had the ability to get in front early and to maintain the lead. They really haven't been challenged in any game seriously, with the exception maybe of possibly the game against Abington where they crept back in, and still they had a big lead there. I think what you need to find out here is West will try and get on the board early. Let's go over the officials first.
Number 10, Captain Cuthbert. Number 33 is Captain Quinn. Number 30 is Captain Kelly. Over here for CB West, we have number 22 is Captain Potter. Number 52 is Captain Crognally. Number 89 is Captain Ward. Number 34 is Captain Armstrong. Gentlemen, shake hands. All right. Anything? You guys set for tonight? Any questions or anything? If not, I wish you both good luck. West, you have won the toss. You've elected to receive. Plymouth-Whitemarsh, you've elected to defend the scoreboard, so if you'd please put your backs to that goal. You guys with your backs to this goal. All right, West has won the toss, and they will receive. White will defend. Shake them up.
So there you have it. They will receive. So what we're going to see, Chris, I think Coach Pettine wants to get points on the board early, wants to play from out front. He doesn't necessarily want to have to find out at this point in the year if his team can come from behind. Coach Jacobini wants to put a big defensive stand on there, maybe have them turn the ball over, put the ball. I think the team that scores first is going to have a huge advantage, because even though PW has lost one game, they lost it early, and they haven't had to play from behind too much at all this year either.
Good point. So there you have it as we set the stage for what should be a very entertaining game. A little bit of history in this game as well, Bob, as we alluded to before we came on the air. West and PW have seen each other before in very similar circumstances.
Yeah, they have. They played 2 years ago down at PW, and Plymouth-Whitemarsh did almost the unthinkable, coming from nowhere to win 12-0, shutting out the highly touted Central Bucks West team and making it look easy. Last year, everybody figured they're coming back up to War Memorial. They're going to see CB West is going to have their way. It wasn't so. They played a great defensive game against West, again winning 21-16. Tonight, anything can happen. We're almost ready for a kickoff. Plymouth-Whitemarsh will be kicking off to Central Bucks West. And for all the play-by-play, my partner, Chris Fickus.
Thanks a lot, Bob Friedman. Plymouth-Whitemarsh in the white uniforms, red numerals, blue stocks, and as usual, Central Bucks West in the black jerseys and the gold pants. It'll be Fold to kick off, number 17, Matt Fold. And we're just about ready. After all this talking and waiting one extra day, Suburban Community ready to bring you tonight's game between Plymouth-Whitemarsh and Central Bucks West. Referee has blown the whistle and we're ready to go. We're underway from War Memorial Field. Short kickoff. Fold boots it and it's picked up at about the 20. West brings it back into the center of the field. And they'll take over with reasonably good field position as Joel Startsman brings it up to about the 30-yard line.
Startsman did a good job. He short hopped that ball, picked it up, got it on the run, and moved the ball up well. And West will start in fairly good field position, just shy of their own 30-yard line.
They'll call it the 29, and of course, as Bob talked about in the pregame show, Corey Potter will be under center tonight. Armstrong's been the big guy all year, bound for Michigan, 6'4", 255. He has a men amongst boys. As we suggested, Ortiz is going to have to do something special tonight, as is Warden. First snap of the game on offense for Central Bucks West. Potter takes the snap. No surprise there. It's Warden through the middle. as perhaps they're trying to give PW a different look and stop that keying on Armstrong, gain of 4.
Well, they bring Armstrong into the line, and they have him as lead blocker for Scotty Warden. Scotty Warden has breakaway speed. He will run by you, and they can run through you. So what they want to do is they want to get a little bit of line action, get the kids a little less nervous to begin with, some hot right up the middle plays, and see what they can do. And they get a nice gain on first down.
Warden picks up 5. That'll make it 2nd and 5. We're just underway. Thanks for joining us tonight on SCT. Potter, and once again, it's going to be Warden, and he bounces through. He'll be close to a first down. Bob gives him the first. They'll probably have to take a look at that right out around the 39-yard line, and the refs will bring the sticks across the field.
He's got that by half the football.
Well, that's why we keep bobbers. Yep, they don't even bring them out. They heard Bob say that, and they move the sticks. 1st and 10 for Central Bucks West as they pick up the first down of the game on 2 plays, 2 5-yard runs by Warden.
Quick hitting plays, both of them. Quick hitters, good blocking up front, the initial push taken care of. You give Warden a crack, he'll give you the yardage, and he's done it so far.
Carey and Shackleton check in as they mix up the backfield. Armstrong's the short man as Central Bucks West goes into the line with Armstrong, and he pulls ahead for about 4 yards.
Yeah, he's going to get a 3 or 4 yards, and they're tough yards. What they're doing is what I said all year you need to do to stop Armstrong, and that's hit him low. You got to pin his legs. You're not going to tackle him from the thighs up and be able to stop him. He'll just give you a ride for 3 or 4 yards. This time they hit him at the line of scrimmage. He makes a nice move, and he's able to get, I will say, a long 3.
Terry Potter comes over to talk to the Central Bucks West offensive coaches. Runs back to the huddle with a play. 2nd and 6 for Central Bucks West on their first series of the evening. And now they overload to the left-hand side with Armstrong, the deep back. And the handoff is to Armstrong again. He breaks through the middle, and he pulls up over at midfield. He'll pick up another first down. So once again, another 2-play series and another first down.
And this was something they have not been able to do to Plymouth-Whitemarsh the past few years, is to push that line off the line of scrimmage. The front line, Cahill among the other linemen on there, Wilson brothers, are really doing a nice push up there. Armstrong bolts his way through, so they've had 2 carries by Warden, 2 by Armstrong, 2 first downs. And
if you've seen our recent games on SCT, this is 2 of the bigger defensive and offensive lines you'll see. These kids are big. Central Bucks West goes 210, 220, even 250, and one big guy around 300 up front. Once again, it's Armstrong as he bails out to the left. This one will only go for about 2 yards. Nice job of stringing it out by the Plymouth-Whitemarsh defense. Tim Fleming amongst those on the tackle. Fleming, a sophomore.
Now keep your eye on that. When the ball was handed off to Armstrong, the linebackers and the safety flew to the ball. You wonder if possibly somewhere along the line they either have a reverse set up somewhere or some type of a situation where it's play action, they fake it to Armstrong. If they do, that could be a big gainer because they're just giving up when Armstrong gets the ball.
They'll give Armstrong 2 on that carry. Potter over center, and the referees call time. And it's a timeout for Central Bucks West. What Mike Pettine see there?
I don't know what Pettine saw. He probably, Potter may have seen something he was not familiar with, and he called it himself. He looked out there. In this type of situation, Pettine has probably told Corey Potter, look, if you see something you don't know early, don't be afraid to call timeout. And that's exactly what he did.
Tom White's down along the side of the field. Tom, anything you can see from ground level early that we should be keeping an eye on? All right, we'll try and pick up Tom a little bit later as Mike Pettine brings the entire offensive squad over to the bottom of the sideline, as you can see here. Central Bucks West will have 2nd and 8, as Bob suggested, perhaps a formation they had not seen as yet. And Potter comes back out. It'll be Armstrong in the backfield, Warden as well. Both of these gentlemen seniors, as is Potter, so a very veteran cast for Mike Pettine.
Now the stage is set here for a keeper by Potter. Fake handoff, roll out to the right. It's been very successful for them.
Shackleton in the slot as they go strong right. Here's Potter, and he hands off to Warden, who jumps over the pile, struggles through, breaks the tackle, off to the races. Warden will probably go the distance. 1 man to beat, and he's in. Warden goes the length of the field, 48 yards in all. And Bob Friedman, a 6-0 Central Bucks West lead.
Oh my, Scotty Warden has been one of the unsung heroes of this team all year long. Everybody's been saying Armstrong, 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 and don't get me wrong, Dave Armstrong is truly a great football player, but Scotty Warden, I said it early, he's got breakaway speed, takes a jump into the middle of the line, gets helmet leg, and his strength allows him to keep his legs moving, maintains his balance terrifically, and then he's off to the races, and they're not going to catch him. It's 6-0, and for the first time in 3 games, CBW has the lead over Plymouth-Whitemarsh.
Patterson with the place kick, and he's a left footer. He boots it through 7-0 as Central Bucks West takes the opening kickoff, goes 6 plays, 71 yards, 48-yard run by Warden with 8:48 left. And as we watch the Central Bucks West kids come back over to the sideline, it's a 7-0 Bucks lead.
And I've noticed something else. The past 2 years, when the Bucks came out for their games, they were all jumping all over each other, they're high-fiving each other and everything. They came out today, and even after this touchdown, like it was business time. They look ready. Now their defense comes on the field, and we can see what they do against Plymouth-Whitemarsh. That's been their bugaboo. They have not been able to stop Plymouth-Whitemarsh over the past couple years. They need to put a defensive, put a signature on it right now, saying, hey, you're not going to do it to us what you've done the past 2 years.
Couple of things to watch as we get ready for the kickoff here. Scott 20, Quinn 33 are the 2 speed guys for PW. Dan Kelly, while not as big as Armstrong, is a big bruising football player, a fullback at 6'3", 205, so they can go 3 deep. And of course the Kupfer brothers, the one the tight end and the other one the quarterback. So we'll be watching them as we get ready for the Plymouth-Whitemarsh Colonials to take over on offense. And as we suggested, Scott will be one of the deep men on the kickoff. The other one will be Quinn, the 2 speed guys. Patterson will kick off for Central Bucks West as the Bucks enjoy an early 7-0 lead here at War Memorial. We're delighted you've joined us this evening.
Now, they have been kicking low against good returners of the past season long. So let's see if he tries to kick a ground ball. The wind is no factor. The flag is hanging limp at the flagpole. So let's see if he goes after it and just tries to kick it on the ground, kick a ground ball, make him field it off the ground.
5 players up front for PW, and it looks like a knuckleball. This one may go out of bounds, but Quinn will grab it. He comes up the near sideline. He'll be forced out of bounds. Just a token bounce out of bounds there by number 20, Joel Startzman. But Plymouth-Whitemarsh starting with reasonably good field position out around the 32, 33-yard line.
And a nice kickoff job done by Patterson. He kicked it so it would not go out of bounds. They had to field it, and Kelly had really no room to ramble. He was pinned in. He got about as much as he could out of it. Still very good field position for the Colonials.
Up PW comes to the line of scrimmage. Their quarterback is Paul Kupfer, 6'4", 200, a junior, so he will be back next year. And there's the inside handoff. This is Kelly, I think, through the center of the line. He'll come up to about the 40-yard line, so nice gain for Plymouth-Whitemarsh on the first offensive play of the game. They'll give him 6. That'll second and 4.
And the big thing that CB West has to look out for is misdirection. They've had trouble, if anything, with misdirection this year. And that is exactly out of Delaware wing T, what you run. And that first one was a little misdirection, got 6 quick ones.
Scott joins Kelly in the backfield. Now they shift, and Quinn comes back as well. And Stuart Kupfer flanks over to the left-hand side, and everybody's in motion. They go up the middle with Quinn, and not a lot there, maybe a yard.
Well, it's tough to run up the middle against West. They are very well schooled to maintain themselves, and they do that very well. You will beat them with quick hit, not beat them, but you'll be able to run on them with quick hitters, and that's what they're trying to do. He still gets a yard, and it's 3rd and about 3 right now.
Up front, Central Bucks West not as big as perhaps they have been in years past. They're about 210, 215 across the front. Plenty big for most of the schools in this area, but not huge. 3rd and 3 with 7.5 left. Here comes the real speed guy. That'll be Scott. He's going to be close to the first down, depends on the mark.
He's got it, unless he spotted badly, right. But the way they're looking right now, he's got the first down. Scott showed me something there. They sealed it off fairly well, but actually West hit him at about 1 yard past the line of scrimmage. You see Scott on the ground. He may just be adjusting his shoe. That's what, you know. And they tackled him well, but didn't quite wrap him, and he was able to drag tackles, his shoes off for a couple of yards, gets the first down, showed good power on that run.
Scott's not a big kid. He's 5'8", 150, but he is very elusive, and he's had a tremendous year for the Plymouth-Whitemarsh Colonials. So just like West, PW moves the ball on their first series. They pick up a first down. 44 out wide, that's Jeff Brown to the bottom of your screen as they go to more of a pro set now. One back with Quinn in motion, and Kupfer rolls left. He's looking for his receiver downfield, but the ball's tipped at the line of scrimmage.
And I'm telling you, if it's not tipped, Scotty Warden's got a dead-on interception. Ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, but he was going backwards. He threw it off his back foot, and the only one in that area is Scotty Warden. And when the ball's tipped, he just goes like, takes his fist and, oh, baby, it was a great defensive play. But Warden's got the interception if the ball's not batted down.
Paul Kupfer looking for his brother, the tight end, Stu Kupfer, 6'3", 230. He was just beyond the first-yard markers, but as Bob correctly described, he didn't have a whole lot of openings to throw through there, and there was close pursuit by Central Bucks West.
One thing about West defense is they're not big, but they are fast and very, very well disciplined.
2nd and 10 for Plymouth-Whitemarsh, and it's misdirection. Here comes Quinn, and he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Nice play there by Corey Potter coming up from his defensive back position.
Yeah, it was a great spot. They had a run blitz set up. Potter knifes through, makes a real good real good defensive play. Again, I mentioned, they're not big. There's a difference between being, I said fast, I really mean quick. There's a difference between being fast and being quick. This team is quick. You see that right there. He gets him in the backfield, and a lesser defensive back will let him get out of his grasp. He made no doubt about it.
Potter wraps him up. They'll give him a loss of 4 on that play. It sets up a 3rd and 13, what would seem like an obvious passing situation. And Kupfer rolls a little bit to his right, now throws an hello there. Jack Shackleton had nothing but ground in front of him if he can catch it.
Well, Shackleton is hiding. How do you do that? You stand off the ball, you read the quarterback's eyes. Kupfer is a junior. He's looking at his receiver. Shackleton plays off it. When he goes to throw, Shackleton steps in front. So he's hiding off to the side. He steps out there. If he holds the ball, he's gone. As it is, they have to punt.
And it'll be Stu Kupfer back to punt. Central Bucks West with a rush, but not a great rush. And this one will be picked up as Central Bucks West tries to bring it back across the flow. Not much there for Dustin Pettine, and he's tackled. Central Bucks West will take the ball at about their 28-yard line.
But not a bad play. Actually, that was Warden, I think, that got the ball, Chris. But not a bad play by Warden, who got the ball there. And he fielded it. It came right to him. You saw he had nobody coming at him. If he lets that ball bounce, it could have gone another 15 yards.
Yeah, and a field that's been well thermalized this week.
Yeah.
So on a tough field, it might have rolled a ways. So all in all, for Central Bucks West, I think you have to say a positive from the get-go. They score in their first possession. They do give up 1 first down, but PW has to kick after that initial offensive burst. So West gets the ball back. 1st and 10 from their own 27. We're halfway through the first quarter this evening from War Memorial. This is Potter, and now a good deal of motion as Shackleton goes left. And up the gut we come with Armstrong, and Armstrong gets about maybe 2.5, 3 yards.
Yeah, but look, he's gone about 1.5 yards to 2 yards before he gets hit, which says that the middle of that line is doing the job that they need to do. What was important here, and we talked about the defensive play, the first play by PW went 6 yards. They didn't get more than 3 after that.
Good adjustment. Kupfer on the tackle that time. And if he's getting a lot of tackles, he's playing sort of out on the wing. You know, the center of the line, as Bob suggested, is getting bounced pretty good. 2nd and 7 as they give Armstrong 3 on that first play from scrimmage on the second drive. Now here comes the option with Potter. Potter tries to turn the corner. He gets bounced out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. That'll be good for another 3 yards.
Now they did that short side, and PW did a nice job of defending it. It still got about 4 yards, but they tried the outside. When they try it long side, it will frequently be much more successful.
Yeah, I would think with Central Bucks West speed, they would have a better chance to the top end of the field since we're playing the short side right now. And Central Bucks West making 1 substitution. This will be Mario Polena coming in, number 41, as Potter gets the play on a 3rd and 2 play from the 36-yard line. They need to get to about the 38.5, West does. Armstrong the sole back as Shackleton's up tight. Potter under center, and he hands to Armstrong. Armstrong pulls through. He has the first down and plenty more as he maneuvers his way out to almost the 47-yard line. What a play by Dave Armstrong, tackled by number 68, Chuck Tornetta. Boy, I tell you, is he a load or what?
Dave Armstrong remembers. He's been in both of the PW games. He remembers how they tied him up in a couple of games. Injury, I think he had an injury in one of the games, And he remembers, and on that play, again, the line surge great. Matt Velitis at center really doing a great job. He 2 yards first time before he's touched, and then he drags him another 6.
So Central Bucks West in business again, 1st and 10 as they approach midfield. And here's the pitch. Now some speed with Warden to the outside. Not quite as much there as you might have expected. The play strung out rather nicely by Tim Fleming, the sophomore linebacker for PW.
But even without that, not as much. You still get 5 yards in the first down. If you can average 5 yards every time you get the ball, you're going to be in the end zone right quick.
The other thing about averaging 5 yards is it keeps Potter out of must-throw situations.
Exactly right. So far, that offensive line has been defeating the defensive line of PW, and also on the sweeps, they have been sealing it well to give him those few yardage. Actually, just shy of 6 yards. We call it 2nd and 5.
Carry in, Titus out. Once again, Shackleton up close to the line as they go strong right side. Armstrong to the left of center. Potter under center. And here's the play to Armstrong, and he gets maybe 2 yards there on a play up the middle. And once again, the success for PW as Kupfer tackles him, shoestring tackles.
Nice play by Stuart Kupfer on the tackle. He comes up, he does what you need to do. He pins Armstrong's leg together. Now, Armstrong falling forward at 6'5", still going to get you a yard or two because that's the size of his body. He gets about as little as you can get when you hit him right at the line of scrimmage. Gains about, just shy of 2 yards, and call 3rd and 3.
Central Bucks West inside of PW territory now at the 45-yard line. Potter with a big, strong right formation. And Armstrong comes back across the formation, tries to lean forward. I think he has the first down. Tackle made that time by Steve Whitman, the senior linebacker, number 26, and then a plethora of PW defenders. Takes a lot of folks to bring David Armstrong down.
And that was all Dave Armstrong. They defeated CB West's line on that play. There were all white shirts waiting for him. He ran into 2 of them, ran through 2 of them, dragged them along, and Dave Armstrong is really pumped for this game. You can see it.
Another first down for Central Bucks West as they move now to the 41-yard line of Plymouth-Whitemarsh. Once again, Central Bucks West strong right with an end on the left-hand side as we look at that formation on your screen. Now Shackleton in motion, and they come left, and here's Armstrong, and he's tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Not much there that time as both Tornetta and Fleming, who's had a very good first quarter for PW, gang up on the tackle.
Tim Fleming comes up from his linebacker spot. He run blitzes there. They see the pitch go to Armstrong. He knifes his way through, makes a nice play. It'll be a short gain, but I'll tell you what, it could have been a lot worse because he was well in the backfield. Armstrong did well to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They give Armstrong 1. This time he's joined in the backfield. Now Shackleton comes down to the bottom of your screen. So 2 wide receivers, and Shackleton now in motion to the right as Potter rolls to the right behind Armstrong. Option pitch, but he'll keep the ball, and he rolls down inside the 35, down to about the 33-yard line, and that's the play you were looking for to the long side.
Corey Potter will never be confused with one of the great passers of all time. He's a good passer. He's not a great passer. What he is, he's like most of the CB West quarterbacks who've been in years past. He's smart. He goes over, runs, takes the option look, freezes the linebacker with that quick pump, and when he does, he puts the burst of speed on, and he turns it into a 7-yard gain.
And there's no doubt from the college people you talk to who have been here at West, Potter will be recruited as a DB, not as a quarterback, obviously.
He's a Matt Baggett type of quarterback.
Right.
You remember Matt. He was an adequate thrower who was a great leader on offense.
3rd and 2, despite that 7-yard pickup by Potter, and once again, West strong right. And this time it's Warden picking his way through the line, and I think with the lean, he gets the first down. He should have just enough as Central Bucks West moves to about the 30.
He did a nice job there. He saw his hole was filled up. Instead, he waited, he looked for the hole, and he knew the line would hold them out. He saw a little bit of a crack and used power. He's going to be real close to that first down. I'm going to say he's got it by the nose of the ball.
This time they will bring the chains out, and we should remind you our crack crew is Mike the referee, so we'll be hearing from them throughout the evening. And Bob,
It's the first down.
Just barely.
By the nose of the ball.
Nose of the ball, you called it. You heard the referee say first down. Good job by our audio crew there, and the yellow hankies waving. That's something you'll see a lot at Central Bucks West games. I think the West fans this week have been a little tentative. They're not quite as confident as they have been, and they have every reason to be.
If you talk to 50 West fans, you say, do you want to play Plymouth-Whitemarsh? 25 would say yes, 25 would say no.
Yeah, I think a lot of them thought they were going to see Downingtown tonight instead, but they do see PW. Central Bucks West on the march, 1st and 10, just outside of the 30-yard line. Potter rolls left, fakes the throw. Now he'll go outside, shifting the ball nicely hand-to-hand, and he'll dive down to about the 23, 24-yard line.
Beautiful job. Corey Potter switches the ball to his left arm. Tommy White loves that kind of football. You always switch your arm to the out-of-bounds side so that you've got a better opportunity to, you see it right here. Now let's take a look at the replay. Here he comes. Now watch him. He'll come out here, and now when he fakes it. Now he's going to carry the ball. Now he knows he's going to be a runner. Watch him switch the ball as he gets toward the sideline. He'll move here. Now watch the switch right there. That's a smart play because he's got a free arm to stiff arm if he wants to. Nice run, 2nd and short.
And the super slow-mo, courtesy of our friends at Sorrento's Pizza. Route 202 Doylestown back to live action. Armstrong pulls it inside to about the 18.
And CB West is making a statement right now. They're saying to Plymouth-Whitemarsh, we can run on you. Now, one thing you want to remember on Potter's run is he can throw the ball off the run fairly well. If they try to push up on him the next time, he's just as likely to put the ball in the air.
Let me ask you a question. You've seen these two teams a lot more than I have. Is Central Bucks West also trying to wear these kids from PW down early?
I think so. I think that's what they've done to most of the teams. Their offensive line pushes their way through, keeps the defense on for a long period of time. Drives like this wear a defense down.
Potter with Warden and Armstrong behind him. Again, it's the fake, and Potter comes around in. He shakes one tackler. He'll be down inside the 5 to the 2 and into the end zone. Potter scores from 22 yards out, and Central Bucks West puts up their 2nd touchdown in the 1st quarter. 24 ticks left on the clock. It's a 13-0 West lead.
If you worry about Dave Armstrong too much, I've said it before, I'll say it again, you're going to get burned. If Ortiz doesn't do it, Warden will do it. If Warden doesn't do it, Potter will do it. Potter's showing again why this team is undefeated. He is a leader on this team. He takes the ball. He would not be denied at the 10-yard line. Breaks a tackle, cuts inside, and I'll tell you, the strength of CB West is showing up right now.
Patterson for the extra point, and he gets that one with plenty to spare. That was, no, they wave it off. I thought he had it there, Bob.
He rushed it. He was being rushed from the right side to his left, and he rushed the kick. And what'll happen with a kicker when you do that is you don't square your body up. It had plenty of distance, but it went wide left. We'll see if that creates a problem. But right now, it's 13-0.
All right, let's head down to the sideline. Tom White's down there. Tom, what do you see?
Chris and Bob, just total domination right now on the offensive line. CB West, we've seen it all year long. That big offensive line just getting huge chunks of yards, and the backs running hard. Nothing different right now for CB West. Real critical thing right now for Plymouth-Whitemarsh is they've got to show that they can move the football, as we saw in that first series, which was very big for CB West holding them. Right now the momentum is huge, black and gold, and I'll tell you what, Plymouth-Whitemarsh has got themselves in a hole right now. Let's see if they can come back from it.
What do you say to the kids if you're the PW coaching staff? Hang in there or go get them?
Yeah, you say you still got 36 minutes and 24 seconds to play. If we can't score 14 points, then we shouldn't be here.
Good point. Patterson will kick off once again. It's Quinn and Scott back deep. And this Central Bucks West crowd very appreciative of the efforts of their Bucks in the 1st quarter here. Patterson with a grounder, as Bob suggested. That's been effective. It bounces off of Quinn's shoulder pads. He's up to the 20, cuts it back to the 23, 24, and runs into a slew of Central Bucks West tacklers led by Joel Startzman.
And that's the ground ball I'm talking about. He's very good at kicking that. The ball comes up and it bounces up on Quinn. He has trouble with the ball, and by the time he gets it, the black and gold are waiting for him.
I think we have a flag on this play, Bob.
And it goes from bad to worse for the Colonials.
30. Yeah, 30 right here.
25, 24.
Yeah.
Referee's talking about the spot of the ball. This should be a half the distance. So this would take him from the 24 to about the 12-yard line. Then we'll get the official call. But the preliminary was that it was a clip on the run back. And the last thing PW needed was bad field position. Back to the 10 and now up to the 12.
Clip on the receiving team. First down, 10 yards to go.
1st and 10 from the 12, so an 88-yard maneuver required by PW here, and they have to be careful. A turnover here and a West score, and this thing could get out of hand very early. Kupfer under center, 1st and 10 from the 12. That's Kelly, the big bull moose fullback from Plymouth-Whitemarsh. He'll grind it out to the 17, and he's bet by Mr. Armstrong. And those two guys together, that's a lot of beef.
That is a lot of beef, and the hole was there for Kelly until Armstrong filled it up. It's still a nice 5-yard gain. Their offensive line does a nice job kicking out the defensive end and giving them that hole, and that will be the end of the first quarter, Chris.
So there you have it. A very impressive start for Central Bucks West. We'll step aside. Bob Friedman along with Tom White, Chris Fickus. We're at War Memorial Field in Doylestown at the end of 1 quarter of play. The Bucks of Central Bucks West 13. The Colonials of Plymouth-Whitemarsh 0. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment here on SCTV.
Jewelry is a gift from the heart. And for years, Gem Jewelers' professional staff has been at the heart of the matter with quality engagement rings, wedding bands, and diamond anniversary rings. Inside our beautiful showroom, you'll find the largest selection and the best values to make your special day or any occasion a treasure you'll remember forever. Plus, Gem Jewelers' gemologist is always on hand to ensure the quality of your diamonds and gemstones. Gem Jewelers, the heart of jewelry, on Route 611 at Bristol Road, Warrington.
I am the Black Knight.
Classic pinball can be played in your home. It takes just one visit to TNT Amusements. We sell reconditioned arcade-sized pinball machines, video games, and jukeboxes. Unlike our competitors, all of our equipment goes through a comprehensive 51-point checklist. And remember, whatever you buy, you can trade in later. We guarantee that in writing. So try it before you buy it. Visit our huge showroom in Southampton.
We're in the yellow pages under amusements.
It's the District 1 Quad A title game from War Memorial Field in Doylestown. Chris Fickus, Bob Friedman, Tom White bringing you the action tonight from Doylestown on a chilly Saturday night. For Plymouth-Whitemarsh, the need to dance, as that young lady just showed you. 3rd and 4 for PW from about the 17-yard line. This is Kupfer fading to his left. He's looking long, but he goes short instead, and a nice running catch there by the other Kupfer. As Paul goes to Stewart. Very nice catch there, Bob Friedman.
He threw a ball that was either going to be caught or incomplete. That was an uninterceptable ball. He put a lot of zip on it. He was given passing lanes by his offensive line. He gets it into Stewart, who obviously has been throwing through all his life. And Stewart makes no doubt about it, makes a nice diving reception. That's a big league play.
Certainly was. Stuart Kupfer, we should mention, was going to be the quarterback, but younger brother's playing that position. Now he puts it into the backfield, and Kelly churns up through the middle. Nice running by Kelly. So far, he's been the most impressive of their 3 backs.
Yes, he has indeed. And what Joe Iacovitti is saying is, all right, we get the ball deep in our area. This might not be so bad for us. If we can take the ball 88 yards, 87 yards into the end zone, or even get it close, what we're saying is we're back in this game at that point. He would like to have a nice, long, strong drive here that says to West, hey, we're as good as you are, maybe even better.
And it also gives the defense a chance to get a blow. 2nd and 4 as Kelly picks up 6. PW at the West 33-yard line. Kupfer again to Kelly. Kelly blows over Warden, but then the reinforcements arrive in the form of Armstrong and also Potter, and he's held to about a yard and a half.
So you have 3rd down, a very similar situation to what you had a moment ago when he hit Brother Stewart with a pass hit. Let's take a look at this again. Now, he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Ward gets him, but doesn't wrap him. He's able to get around, and he pushes Warden back before Potter comes in. Nice bit of running on that play by Dan Kelly.
Good job by our crew. The slow-mo brought to you by Sorrento's Pizza, Route 202, just south of Del Valle College in New Britain. 3rd and 3 for Plymouth-Whitemarsh, a key early 3rd down early in the second quarter. This drive has gone fairly well. This time, it's Quinn coming up through the middle. He'll be close, but he looks like he'll be a little bit short of the first down.
It depends on the spot. I would say he's got it. I would say depending on the spot of the ball, let's see where they put it. Boy, I'll tell you, that one is real close. The official's kind of shielding us off from the ball, but I'm going to say he's about a nose of the ball shy of this stuff.
All right. Well, we'll find out. They're going to bring him all the way across the field. And Central Bucks West obviously stopping Quinn just shy or just beyond the first down markers. This one will be tight. You'll hear it from the referee first.
You got it?
First down.
You got it?
There you have it. That's why we let Bob in the booth every Friday and Saturday nights. His eyes are a lot better than mine.
Except I said he was shy of it this time. I said, oh, you know, we're close. I'm 2 for 3 so far.
There you go. So for Plymouth-Whitemarsh, a drive extender as they're at the 38-yard line, and now they've been able to move the ball 27 yards on this drive so far, and they're chewing a little bit of clock away, 3 minutes plus on this drive. Cutfer with Kelly, and here comes Scott in motion, and it's the handoff to Scott. And if he gets outside, it could be trouble, and he does turn the corner on Warden, who gets just enough to knock him out of bounds. 6 yards, and boy, does he have the jets.
Well, you know, they say you don't run wide on CB West, and yet teams have run wide on West this year, and it's not with tremendous success, but better success than in the past. Scott has got sprinter speed. He gets to the outside fast. He'll get a 6-yard gain, and what's happening, Chris, they're getting big plays on first down, then grinding it out on second and third to get the first down again. What West needs to do is either hold them here, or if they get another first down, they really need to nail them on first down.
As we suggested, when you get 5 and 6 on first down, boy, does it make your choices a lot easier. Scott out wide, Kelly in tight, Quinn tries the center. Now he backs up and falls forward for about 2.5 yards. Nice second effort by Quinn.
See what I mean? They got the first down play, they get 6 yards. Now Quinn backs up, and he'll still get a real nice spot, actually, 3rd and about 2. So they'll grind out the next 2 plays, and West picks it up. West needs to get them early.
Quinn's sort of a middle type of guy in terms, the referees will take a timeout here. Quinn's sort of a middle guy between Scott, who's the burner, and Kelly, who's the big guy. Quinn's sort of in the middle, 5'10", about 175, and he can both give you a little bit of speed and a little bit of movement as well, and he can also bull through the middle, as you saw that time on a nice second effort play.
Something happened with Greg Ward. I don't know if he was not in the game legally or something, but they pulled him and took him off the field, and they replaced him with number 41. That's Mario Pelena.
So another key 3rd down, 3rd and 2 as the fans come alive. 46, Scott has the corner, and he'll pick up the first down.
He may have it all.
And maybe a lot more. There's only one man to catch him, but I don't think Warden doesn't have the angle. Scott dances in from 52 yards out. PW's right back in it.
Well, what happened was the linebacker on the right side for Pettine fell down. When he did, Scott made no doubt about it. Now, you know, as we talked about, the field is a little bit slick in there. The contained man falls, Scott gets it, goes around the left side, and with that kind of speed, you're just not going to catch him. And just as we talked about, 88 yards, they move the ball, and it's a ball game again.
Very nice drive by Plymouth-Whitemarsh as Scott showed some speed. Quinn bolted in the middle. Now the extra point by Fuld, the kicker, as they'll try and put the 7th point on the board. Fuld with a boot. Refs say it's good. That makes it 13-7. That extra point that West missed a little earlier may come back to haunt them a little bit later. But I think now PW's made a statement. They've said, we will be in this ball game.
Absolutely. That's what I said. You said, what do you do after this? 24 seconds to go in the first quarter. Well, there's 36 minutes and 24 seconds yet to go. Now, there's still 8:14 to go in the half, and they're down by a touchdown, not even an extra point at this point. What their defense needs to do, here comes the run. He's going to run right by you. There he goes. Why not? He ran by everybody else, and you see Ortiz just doesn't have the speed to stay up with him. He's got killer speed. The defense now is pressed. They have got to do something. So far, West has taken the ball, run it over them, under them, around them, and through them. With not speed, but great power. PW shows some good solid speed. You see Mike Carey talking to his defense. He wants to get them set up. If this continues to happen, what they'll do is they may put a spy on Scott to try and get it, keep him from getting outside like that. West, on the other hand, they got to do it business as usual. PW's defense hasn't been able to stop him yet.
10 plays and 88 yards. Nice drive for PW. As we wait for the kickoff, a reminder, the award-winning Teens Talk Line, produced by teens for teens, back this fall on Mondays, Channel 9, 8 o'clock. Fuld to kick off, and West has 2 men deep. It'll be number 20. That's Joel Startzman, who's been a real special teams ace so far tonight in this game. Fould kicks off. Startzman comes across, but instead this will go to Ortiz. Ortiz will bring it back up the middle, and he's ankle tackled. Nice play by young Mr. Fleming, who's been a force on defense and now on special teams.
Ortiz thought he was going to get more than that, but Fleming knifes in from the outside, makes a real solid tackle right around the shins of Ortiz, and Ortiz just goes right down. Fortunate to hold on to the ball, actually.
Ortiz will be a guy we'll keep an eye on tonight because, along with Warden, they're the two speed guys in the running attack for West. West now needs to reach back a little bit. They had things their way. As you see Ortiz come out, and again, nice ankle tackle here by Fleming.
Fleming coming right here. You see how he nails him and just brings him out. I say, fortunate to hold on to the ball.
Thanks to our friends at Sorrento's for the replay. Potter, 1st and 10 from the right hash mark. Potter fakes it, and this time comes out around end. He'll get about 3-4 yards, and then, boy, everybody arrives at the same time there. Chris Dempsey, one of the tacklers, number 42, as well as Steve Whitman, number 26, as PW has a little more bounce to the ounce now.
Well, and you wonder if they have a reverse play off that, because I'm watching that defense, and they are all geared in on number 22. When I looked at the play, there was absolutely nobody on the far side. Not that they're necessarily going to run a trick play here, and it's still got 4 yards, which isn't bad. But again, tuck that in your memory back.
Yeah, Drew Darrow, Wooden Indian, would come in handy here somewhere along the way. Potter under center, 2nd and 6 as they give him 4. We're about halfway through the second quarter. 13-7 your score, and Armstrong rumbles through the middle. He'll be up to about the 32, 33-yard line, about 2-3 yards short of the first down. It'll bring up a 3rd and 3.
Good power by Armstrong. Actually, they're going to give him a pretty good spot. He's a little closer to 2 yards, maybe just shy of 3. But this is, again, Armstrong territories where you'll give it to him and just let him carry the ball.
Once again, Potter comes over, now trots back to the huddle, and that big Central Bucks West offensive line has been very good so far, especially going to the right-hand side where they have Wilson and Damarad over there with Ward. They've been very effective. Once again, it's Armstrong and Warden up on the right, and here comes Armstrong. He'll pick up the first down and get knocked down, but after he picks it up, 21, Matt Kincaid, the senior linebacker, tackles him after a gain of about 4.
Greg Ward from his end spot, tight end spot, does a great job of sealing that off for him. That whole right side of the line doing a super job. Another first down, and again, Plymouth-Whitemarsh just hasn't had the answers for the CB West offense to this point.
Now, one of the things we were talking about before we came on the air tonight is there's a feeling in this press box this could turn into a shootout at some point, because neither of these defenses has really been able to show it. So we'll see. Ward flanked out way wide with Scott on him. Potter will swing to the right and hand off. No, he keeps it. He stumbles through the opening, but he picks up about 8 yards. Nice running by Potter. Very impressive, as he's finally knocked down after a gain of 8 by Whitman and Kincaid.
I gotta tell you, when I first saw him this year, I wasn't overly impressed. Because we'd seen Travis Blumgren for the past 2 years, who could do everything, including, you know, pick up the goalposts. And Potter really had some big shoes to fill as we take a look again. But look at the balance here. Forget the power. Look at the balance. Now, he's got nice blocking in front, but now he's hit here. He's going to be hit right, and he cuts back. He'll take the first hit. Now watch him get 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 more yards, and he's going forward. Great job, 2nd and short.
2nd and 1, they'll call it for Potter, and this should be prime Armstrong country here. But
they're going to go back 5.
The other thing as we wait for the call, and it looks like delay of game, the thing I was impressed by is Armstrong really carries his fakes well.
Yes, he does. He carries his fakes off well.
Dead ball. Encroachment.
What happened was one of the linemen moved forward early, and that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Pettine hates that kind of stuff. Back to Potter for a second, though. As I said, I wasn't that overly impressed. Every game I've watched him, I've become more and more impressed, not only with his ability, but with his leadership. He will not be defeated.
Flynn out, and Ward comes back in as Central Bucks West now faced with a 2nd and 6 after the offsides penalty. Now in a very traditional power I set, Armstrong up front. Second man through is Warden. He'll come charging through the line, pick up about 3 yards in a nice power display by West.
And they'll get some of the yardage back they lost on the penalty and make it a very makeable third and about a long 2, short to make it 3rd and 2. So again, you're in Armstrong territory, although again, Potter doesn't mind carrying the ball himself.
The other thing you have to be impressed by in this West offensive machine that we've seen so far tonight, 3 of the 5 starters up front will be back next year. You have 3 juniors, 2 seniors, so you're going to see a lot of these kids again next year. And if you couldn't stop them this year, you have to wonder about next year. 3rd and 2 for West. Armstrong behind, both other backers in tight, and Armstrong charges through the center. The question is, how far will he go? He'll get run down as Scott and Kincaid, along with Fleming, make the chance down there, but Armstrong picks up about 25, 27 yards.
You see the power of Armstrong's game, and you see the one slight drawback. He's got incredible power going through the line, but he is catchable. The problem is, what do you do with him when you catch him? Let's take a look at it again. He powers through here, maintains his balance. Now he's off to the races. If this is Scotty Warden or Chris Ortiz or Potter, he's gone. Armstrong is 6'4", 255, is not as fast. You see them coming up from behind. They'll catch up to him here. They double team him and bring him down, but a great run by Dave Armstrong.
Armstrong moves the ball from Central Bucks West into deep PW territory there at the 20. Armstrong jumps through the line, picks up about 4 yards that time as both Kupfer and number 21, Kincaid, chop the legs on him.
And remember, Armstrong isn't the guy they want for the breakaway. He's there to do exactly what he just did, power the ball in. What he got was he got 3rd and short. He got them to overcommit. He burst through that first opening, and he's in the open there.
Let me ask you a question. What is his true position, do you think, in college?
I mean, he's
not going to carry the ball.
Well, he's not going to be a fullback. I think his true position in college is going to be a linebacker. That's my opinion.
Central Bucks West, 2nd and 6 with about 3.5 minutes left. Warden in the short slot, Armstrong behind center with Potter. Once again, it's a fake, and Potter rolls wide. He has a couple of blocks out there, but very impressive tackling that time by Kelly, Quinn, I should say, who's just checked into the game, along with Chris Dempsey for PW.
And it's 3rd and short. They're running that play and they're still getting 3 and 4 yards at a pop on it. And as long as it's going to be sealed off like that, you're going to see that happen. Corey Potter again gets another 2 yards. It was something he should have only gotten maybe 1.
Plymouth comes into the game. Warden checks out as Potter brings the play in from the sideline. This time it's Armstrong joined by Polena in the backfield and a wing. That's Shackleton out on the right-hand side. The pitch to Armstrong. Nice cutback move. He's down inside the 10 to about the 9. That's going to be awfully close to the first down.
Depends on the spot, but if they don't spot it inside the 10, it's crazy. They do, and he's got the first down. I don't even think they're going to measure it. Well,
no, they signal it. They move the sticks. So Bob called that one for you. Now West in business yet once again. This is really the first time that they've been down inside the 10, because keep in mind Warden scored from 48 out and Potter on that roll from 18 yards out. So this will be the first red zone move of the night.
Well, this is the toughest 1st and goal, obviously, because the ball is resting right on the 10. They got to get the full 10 to get the touchdown. No first downs here.
Armstrong and Polena behind Potter. There's the pitch to Armstrong. He goes to the right side. Not a whole lot there. They'll stack him for maybe a yard, as once again Fleming is joined by Dempsey and also number 21, that's Kincaid. Nice gang tackling job by PW.
Yeah, and I'm looking out on the field, and I watched Warden. Warden got dinged earlier. He's not. I was going to say watch for Scotty Warden, but I don't see Warden in the lineup right now. Got Mario Polena in there right now, and I look at him talking to Warden on the sideline. He may have something wrong here, because normally he would be in the lineup. Now Potter does a smart thing. He says, we're close here. Let's call our second timeout. We have $1:43 to go in the half. Might as well.
So West will come over and talk it over with Mike Pettine. That gives us a chance to talk about one of our favorite things. Bob and I have never been accused of missing a meal.
It's the truth.
Get cooking this fall on SET, a full hour of cooking programs featuring area chefs. I Would Eat That airs Friday at 7:30. This month's focus on grilling. And the Flavor Base follows in October. Easy gourmet dishes prepared right here on Channel 9. Tom, you're on the sideline. What's Mike Pettine have in his bag of tricks here with under 2 minutes to go?
Hey, Bob, interesting thing, before West scored their last touchdown, I overheard a couple of the Plymouth-Whitemarsh players saying, hey, we're really not going to stop this team tonight. They're just really overpowering us on a line of scrimmage, and we're really having a tough time. The interesting thing is after the score, everybody was here talking about, can we punch the ball in? And I think it's just a matter of time before CB West runs out the clock here in this first half and possibly punches in some more points. They are still dominating the line of scrimmage. No doubt. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Tom. And what would you call here? Now, obviously, they're all looking for Armstrong. You have to go a distance here, and you're on the narrow side of the field. What do you call?
I'm looking at my running backs here. You got Shackleton, and you got... I'd stay with Armstrong right now, unless you want to do something wide with Potter.
Polena coming to the top side of your screen. That's where Ward's located. Here's Armstrong, and hey, it doesn't matter. He's in from 9 yards out. Dave Armstrong with 1:38 to play.
Now you say, you dance with the one that brought you, and what they're thinking, and PW's got to be thinking, hey, they've run wide inside the 10-yard line, so they do a little different look. They run a play that normally Warden runs, off tackle, outside the tackle, and the hole was huge. Well, you get Armstrong rolling, and it doesn't matter from 10 yards. He's going to bowl you right into the end zone, and CB West now has a 19-7 lead. Let's see, they're going to go for 2 as we see Scotty Warden in the game. I'm wondering maybe somebody Tommy White can check if Warden is healthy, because he's usually in the backfield a lot more than he has been tonight.
Yeah, you're right. He may have gotten nicked a little bit earlier. So now they go Shackleton in the short slot with Warden to his left, Armstrong behind Potter on the 2-point conversion try. That's Warden in motion, and we hear whistles.
They had 2 men in motion there, and then what happened was you're going to go back 5 yards. They may have to kick this extra point now.
What do you say? Defense.
Oh, the defense come across. Wait a minute.
That's what we're hearing off the ref's mic.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Defense.
Oh, they pulled the defense off. I thought there was 2 men in motion
That's
there.
what I thought. I thought Shackleton moved as well as Warden to the top side.
Defense.
Well, now you just give the ball to number 34 and go kaboom.
Yeah.
Take it right behind Matt Velitis and Wilson, and you go at Cahill, and you go right into that end zone. You're a yard outside now. Now it's time to just power it right in there.
Warden flanked off the left-hand side with Ward. He comes now to the bottom of your screen as Potter rolls and he hands it to Armstrong, and Armstrong just dances in.
Well, they showed the power going to the right side. Everybody moved that way, and then they just went to the short side. There was only one defensive back to tackle Armstrong, and I don't think so. And now they have a full 2-touchdown lead again with 1:38 to go in the half.
You surprised by this?
Honestly, a little bit. Honestly, I am a little bit surprised. Not so much that CB West is leading, but I'm really kind of surprised at the ease with which they have moved the ball against Plymouth-Whitemarsh, which had Downingtown down 35-3 at this point last week. You know, CB West has played an almost flawless offensive game. Now, remember one thing, though. 1:38 is forever with this Plymouth-Whitemarsh defense, because unlike West, PW can score very quickly. With Paul Kupfer can throw that ball on a dime. So you got to be careful here. And now you also have to be careful because they're going to have 2 straight offensive possessions. They have it now, and they'll have it to open the second half.
You got Scott, a great speed back as well, so you got plenty of weapons if you're PW. Scott will go back deep. He'll be joined by Quinn as Patterson will kick this ball off. Very impressive first half offensively and, quite frankly, defensively to this point for Central Bucks West, which, with the exception of that one long run, has seemed to have most of the answers tonight against a very talented PW offense. Patterson to kick it off, 1:38 to go. This time it's the knuckleball, as we suggested, and this will be Kelly, the short man, and he brings it up well past the 35, almost to the 40-yard line, before he's finally knocked out of bounds by number 21, Dave Edwards.
I'm a little surprised he didn't kick the ground ball again. What he does is they give Plymouth-Whitemarsh a chance to start in fantastic field position. They cut the field down to just 60 yards. Actually, with the kicker fold, you can get it down to another 45 yards, and they're in full field goal position. You have 1:31 to go, and that's a long, long time with this kind of offense.
Paul Kupfer comes back out. And don't be surprised, as Bob suggests, the situation would dictate some throwing here, although with Scott and his ability to get the corner, you might see Scott, and you do see Scott. And this time, Central Bucks West certainly has the answer. That's Crognale with the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be loss of about a yard, and PW will call timeout here to stop the clock.
And that's only their first timeout. They still have 2 more to go. Now, what you want to see, what they want to do here, they ran a little bit of wide play, not the same wide play that the touchdown. That was off of a pitch, and they ran it short side. Crognale comes up, he's run blitzing, and I'm sure that Mike Carey said, look, number 20 is going to kill you with his speed. Do not let him get to the corner. He has to be boxed in. Let him cut it up, let him cut it in, but don't let him turn the corner. He turns the corner, he'll beat us.
The other thing is we have not seen as much misdirection, I think, tonight as we thought on the way in.
Yeah, I thought they were going to run a lot more than that, and I think what they decided is they can beat them around the ends, and so far they've shown that they can do that. They're running it outside the tackles more than I expected them to do, but they're having some success with it. Now that play was just a great play by our co-captain Crognale to come up and really make a nice stop there. Here, PW now has to say, well, gee, we're in an almost must-pass situation. It's 2nd and 11. Or would they run a draw play possibly? And you got to watch out for that too.
You also have to watch out if you're PW for a turnover. You don't want to give West a cheap score right before the half, and that would really take the old air out of the balloon. Kupfer with only Kelly behind him. He will roll left. West coming with a variety of players, and boy, do they meet him. Nice play by Greg Ward.
That, my friend, is what is known as a coverage sack. He rolled left. He had time. I'm looking downfield. There are 2 receivers, and there are a lot of jerseys all around there, and they just bury him.
He was looking for Scott, who's his speed guy. He was long. His brother Stewart was short, but nobody was open. And boy, when they arrived in a hurry, as Ward was there first, Buckley right behind him.
Absolutely. I mean, this team is prime. Mike Carey and Mike Pettine and the coaching staff have got these Bucks ready to play.
3rd and 19. I'm not sure that you have a play for this. It's called go long with less than a half-minute left. Good time for a Big Ben or a Hail Mary. This is a handoff inside. Nice alternative call, if you will, but it won't be nearly enough. It'll be about 9 yards for Scott, and with 12 seconds left,
they're more than content to run the clock. West is more than content to let them run the clock out. A great first half for the Bucks.
That'll do it as the horn's about to sound. Very impressive first half by the Gold and Black. Mike Pettine's crews come out, and they do the job in the first half, 21-7. We'll step aside.
So why not let the doctors of Buckingham Foot and Ankle Center help you? Dr. Michael Greenberg and Dr. Maurice Levy have over 40 years combined experience participating and treating athletes like you. Buckingham Foot and Ankle provides foot care for people of all ages, from pediatrics to geriatrics, including diabetic, sports medicine, general podiatry, laser surgery, and wound care. Don't suffer another day. Come visit our conveniently located facility. Call 489-5100.
Would you like a better paying job? Professional Career Development Institute can train you at home in just a few months for one of America's 15 top career opportunities. Whether your dream is to be your own boss or to work for an employer, call for free literature on any one of America's top career choices. Train at home for the job you've always wanted and earn this nationally recognized diploma. Take a look at PCDI's exciting career opportunities. Medical transcription, paralegal, veterinary assistant, computer training, fitness and nutrition, interior decorating, electrician, child daycare, conservation outdoors, travel agent, locksmithing, medical dental office assistant, home inspection, bookkeeping, accounting, or get your high school diploma. Call for free literature on the career of your choice.
In the U.S. and Canada, call 1-800-494-9732. Get free literature on one of these 15 careers. That's 1-800-494-9732. Earn more money. Call 1-800-494-9732. Call now.
And we're back at halftime. A very impressive first half for Central Bucks West as they lead this District 1 Quad A title game 21-7. We'll recap the scores in just a couple of moments, but before we do that, let's go down field side our colleague Tom White. Tom?
Bob and Chris, very jubilant CB West sideline as they left the field. Had a second just to talk to Joe Holman, and maybe we'll talk to him later in the game. But he said, you watch this team in the second half. He said the conditioning and the strength of this team will start to pay off. As I said earlier, I think Plymouth-Whitemarsh defensively, their confidence just is not there. They don't believe, I don't think, that they can stop this CB West team. So if CB West plays defense in the second half, which they have in the first half, with the exception of that one run, it could be an all black and gold second half. They're again, just dominating the line of scrimmage. Dummerod, the Wilson brothers, Big Ben Carver, and the center in there doing a great job. And look for more of the same in the second half.
Thanks a lot, Tom. And you think as we come back live here, there he is.
That's a scary sight.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
That is a scary sight.
The smiling guy's Bob Friedman, the guy with the hat on trying to stay warm is Chris Spickus. You think Velitis is the key to this group. He's the leadership up front.
Oh, absolutely. You've got a great front line there who's been doing a job. He mentioned Ben Carver, the Wilsons, Velitis, Cahill. They're all doing a real good job. Not huge, quick again, we talk about that, offensively and defensively. I think that for West, they feel that they can feel it now. I mean, they're like a shark and they got blood in the water. They're going to go for the kill. Big defensive series there, although it may not have appeared so after they scored the third touchdown. Plymouth-Whitemarsh, as they showed us, they can score quickly. Instead of doing that, CB West dominated them, and they go to the locker room at half knowing that their defense has not been able to stop West yet this game, and West has stopped Plymouth-Whitemarsh 2 out of 3 times.
Let's recap the scoring if you are just joining us at this point. West came out, took the opening kickoff, went 71 yards on 6 plays, highlighted by Warden's burst down the sideline 48 yards. With 8:48 left, or with 3:12 played, West was already up 6-0. The extra point was good. Then with just 24 seconds left in the first quarter, Potter from 18 yards out on the pitch option kept the ball, went down the left sideline, 73-yard drive in 10 plays for West. It was 13-0. Patterson's extra point was no good. Plymouth-Whitemarsh then answered after receiving bad field position on a clip on the kickoff. They went 88 yards, perhaps the singular most impressive drive of the first half. Scott electrified the PW sideline, 52-yard dance down the sideline with 8:14 left in the second quarter. PW got the extra point. It was 13-7. But then West answered, finally scoring with 1:38 left in the second quarter, as Dave Armstrong, who's been a force all night long inside the tackles, burst one, 9 yards on a nice cutback move, scored, 73-yard drive. West then went for 2, was aided by an offsides penalty on PW, and Armstrong bowled his way in for the 2-pointer. That's where we stand at halftime, 21-7. Some thoughts on what we should look for in the second half?
Well, PW gets the ball to open the second half. I'm sure Coach Iacovitti and his crew are going to try and figure out more ways to get Scott the ball outside. They, as we talked about, CB West is going to try and keep the ball in between the tackles. They've got to work some type of a play-action pitch out, and also I think you're going to see Paul Kupfer throw the ball a little more. He's shown he's got a real good arm. Given a little bit of time, he can create some trouble. On the CB West side, they're going to try and hold them. I'll be very candid with you. I think if they can hold them on the first series, they're going to have this game, because Plymouth-Whitemarsh just doesn't have the answers. One thing, when you're not making good defensive plays, they're in position to make plays. They're just getting beaten to the ball.
You see the young ladies drinking some hot chocolate here. We invite you to go grab some hot chocolate and maybe a couple of snacks. We'll be back with the second half of our game as we step aside at halftime from War Memorial Field in Doylestown. The score, Central Bucks West 21, Plymouth-Whitemarsh 7. You're watching high school football playoff action on Suburban Community Television.
and cut your workout time in half.
With a revolutionary fitness flyer from Guthrie Ranker, other machines can create painful impact on your knees and joints.
But the Fitness Flyer has been biomechanically engineered to work with your body's natural movement.
For a smooth workout that's virtually zero impact. And when you're done,
The Fitness Flyer quickly folds down and rolls away.
for easy storage in a closet or under a bed. Try the Fitness Flyer risk-free for a full 30 days.
For just 4 easy payments of only $49.95. And these special bonuses are yours just for ordering.
Don't walk,
Don't run,
don't ride.
just fly with a revolutionary Fitness Flyer.
Call now.
Credit card customers call toll-free. Your Fitness Flyer is backed by a lifetime manufacturer's warranty. And with our 30-day money-back guarantee, you can try the Fitness Flyer in your own home risk-free. Call the toll-free number now.
And we're back, getting ready for the third quarter at War Memorial Field in Doylestown. Chris Fickus with Bob Friedman and our good friend Tommy White along the sideline tonight. 21-7, your score, as you can see Coach Carey and the Central Bucks West kids getting ready for the second half. As we suggested as we broke away here for the halftime activities and a chance for you to hit the snacks as well, we think that this game will be determined fairly early in the third quarter. You in particular feel his first drive is essential for PW.
If PW is going to stay in this game, they have to put points on the board on the first possession. Think about this. The whole first half, there were only 6 total possessions. CB West had it for 3. Plymouth-Whitemarsh had it for actually only 2 and a fraction, which says that CB West has been dominating the ball in offense. Plymouth-Whitemarsh has got to put points on the board here because I will say it straight up, they cannot stop the CB West defense. They have had no answers. And it hasn't been an exciting offense. It's just been a right up the gut, right at you offense, and PW's had no answers at the day.
Something we'd like to suggest, and you may say, well, this would seem obvious, down 14 points, is that PW is going to have to air it out. If there is one thing that would concern you about West, their pass defense at times this year has not been as good as their run defense.
The pass defense hasn't been good if the quarterback's given time. The pursuit has been very good on Paul Kupfer. And that last pass that he tried to throw, they had good coverage. As we see some of the captains, looks like Dave Armstrong's wrapped a little bit.
If
Maybe
not,
he took a
Wes,
little
you
dig in
want
his
to toss,
thigh.
we'll give
Listen to the
PW their
officials.
choice. You want the ball? What goals you guys? Okay, you want to put your backs down there? You guys with your backs here. All right, White's choice. They will receive the ball. Black will defend. All right, guys.
And yes, that is snow that's falling.
Gonna say,
Good luck.
we thought we'd see sooner or later some inclement weather tonight. A couple of flurries, and it's starting to pick up a little bit.
It shouldn't be a real factor. It's only supposed to be light flurries throughout. Now, when we're standing here in 3 inches of snow at the end of the fourth quarter, we'll see what happens. But again, Plymouth-Whitemarsh has to get something going quickly, because if they don't score and they allow West to get the ball back, you know West is going to control it for 5 or 6 minutes unless they can Plymouth-Whitemarsh can come up with some kind of answers. They've had none so far, as I said.
So obviously, as you see the snowflakes coming down, it leads our crew to think of the Quakertown-Penridge Thanksgiving Day game, which we will be bringing you in about 2 weeks from now. And by that point, who knows what kind of weather we'll have.
I think we got Tommy White down there ready to say something.
Bob, as you look in the background, it begins to snow, probably in favor of CB West, as that offensive line has just dominated the first half, looking for much of the same in the second half. And again, it's a beautiful feeling out here on this sideline at the black and gold. They're having fun. Back to you guys.
I think Tommy may be with the team after the game. I think they've adopted him tonight.
Tommy came up and said, it's over. It's over. I'm telling you, it's over. Oh, you know, I'd love to think that too, but Goldberg says there's still 24 minutes to play, and PW is about to get the ball, and they're only 2 touchdowns down right now. So we'll see what happens. For all the play-by-play, my partner, Chris Fickus.
Thanks a lot, Bob Friedman. And ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax. Here comes the second half. Patterson, and this time it's the ground ball play. And it'll be Quinn, and he's
Right
knocked
there.
to the ground. First by his own kneeling down, and then he's knocked down by Fleming, who has hit just about anything tonight, including his own guys.
The single worst rule in high school and college football. I know why it's there, but there is no way that a knee touching the ground when you have nobody within 20 yards of you should stop the ball. They did it years ago to overcome injuries. With the way kids are today, that rule should be allowed to be changed. If you're in the open and that knee touches the ground, you should be able to get up and go.
Following comments, of course, not those necessarily of our sponsors or of SCTV. Back we come, and it's going to be Quinn in through the middle of the line, and the first play from scrimmage from the 25 picks up 4 for PW. You think that the PW coaching staff got these kids readjusted at halftime? They've had that ability to make adjustments this year at halftime.
I think they're saying offensively we've moved the ball a little bit against West. Scored a touchdown, moved it another time. Didn't have much time in the half. We had the big sack, and we had to force some things. I think we just keep the thing going, and defensively we have to adjust.
Everybody shifts. This is Kupfer in the slot, and Quinn actually in the slot, and they'll try and go with Scott outside. He gets the corner, but just barely. He'll pick up about 2-3 yards. It'll bring up a very important third, and it looks to be about a long 3 for Plymouth-Whitemarsh.
And what I found something very interesting, if you remember Penn State football in the late 60s and early 70s, the defensive end always faced in, did not face the line of scrimmage. Dustin Picciotti is turned at a 90-degree angle to the line of scrimmage. Reason that is to box Scott in on the wide runs. What happened there, he got some decent yardage, but not the yardage he had because he had to pop it outside of Picciotti, and they only got about 5. It's still 3rd and short.
3rd and 2, they'll call it. Kupfer in a position where he could either run the ball or perhaps throw the ball. This is a position where in the first half they like Dan Kelly, the big bruising fullback, but instead it's Scott, and he sneaks through a crack. He will pick up the first down, and surprisingly, he actually drags Armstrong for a yard or 2.
Well, he showed it in the first half that he can carry people. He's got very strong legs. He gets the first down, a nice little crack, and again, Plymouth-Whitemarsh moving the ball. They get 4 yards in the first carry, 4 yards in the second carry, 4 yards on the third carry. You'll see him here come into the line. He's already got the first down now. Now Armstrong, well, in all fairness, Armstrong was being blocked too, but showing a little power of Dave Armstrong. But now Plymouth-Whitemarsh is going to try and set the tone and get some balance back.
Quinn through the center of the line, or actually that's Kelly through the center of the line as Quinn was the man in motion. He picks up about a yard or 2.
This is a big play. This is the first time on a first down play that either team has been able to hold the other for less than a 4-yard gain. That's a big play because now it forces Plymouth-Whitemarsh to do something extra here. Something wide, maybe a pass, something of that nature. They have to get the ball within 3 yards of the sticks.
They give him 2 yards on first down. That brings up 2nd and 8. Plymouth-Whitemarsh with the ball. The first drive of the second half. Nice inside pitch, and boy, nice hands. I think that's a catch. The West players are waving it off. I thought that was a catch, Kupfer to Kupfer, and they will spot the ball. We thought they would have to pass in the second half, and that picks up the first down. Nice juggling catch there as Paul Kupfer goes to his tight end and older brother, Stu Kupfer.
And a great play-action play by Paul Kupfer. Again, this is experience that you just can't get anywhere else because these kids have been playing together since they were born, just about. They're brothers. They've been throwing and catching to each other, one to the other for years. A great timing play.
Kelly, the man behind. Scott gets the ball, though, and he jukes and fakes and jukes and fakes and carries Warden for a couple of yards. He'll pick up about 3.5, 4 yards. As you see, the snowflakes continuing to intensify a little bit here.
And you see what's happening is they're collapsing the left side of the CBW line, forcing the linebackers to have to come up and make the play. They demolished that left side. Scott had a nice area to run, and only a real nice defensive play it kept him from getting a lot more yardage.
Scott, you would think, would be more effective to the open side of the field, and that's the side he will go to this time, as Quinn is the slot man, Kelly is the short man, and this will be Kelly, and he rumbles up the middle. Armstrong amongst the tacklers greeting him there, along with Buckley, and that'll pick up about 4 yards and bring up a 3rd and 2.
And just as the West offensive line was pushing back Plymouth-Whitemarsh in the first half, that's what Plymouth-Whitemarsh is doing right now. They are beating the linemen at CB West to the line of scrimmage. They're winning that battle in the pits right now. That's why the PW is moving the ball very successfully.
That was one thing that the PW kids, Tom White told us at halftime, were a little discouraged by. They thought they were getting manhandled up front. So far, they've held their own in the early stages of the third quarter. Here's Kelly again. He doesn't look like he's going to get it. I think he's about a half yard short. Once again, we'll see the famous left foot, right foot spot, but looks to me as though he's short.
And this is 4 down territory here. I got to think that they'll go for it here, figuring that, you know, that they'll. This is a game shaper right here. If they do not make the 4th down carry here, you've got Plymouth, you've got CB West with the ball in great field position. If they make it, well, it fills their balloon, the Colonials' balloon, a little bit more.
Carver comes in for Crognale, obviously a little more beef inside for number 79. Everybody anticipates this will be a run up the gut.
I think they're going to go off the tackle.
I tend to think they'll try and go a little bit toward the outside. And here it is, it's Quinn. Quinn, nice determined running, comes through the center of the line. He will pick it up. He's stopped by Potter, but he easily picks up the first down there as he goes off the left side of the line.
And they're sealing those corners off. They're allowing the runners to get to the corners, to get to the ends there. That was not enough to gut. It was actually outside the tackle. A nice seal block put in there. Kelly, all he had to do was keep his footing, and he gets the first down. So again, Plymouth-Whitemarsh has been moving the ball smartly from their own deep in their own territory, and they have the ball in CB West territory.
Quinn in motion. Inside handoff, no. They whistle the play dead. Legal procedure is the preliminary.
I think that's what it's going to be. I think the center did not snap the ball in time. They had a man in motion. Let's see.
False start.
And what happened was the center did not snap the ball. Here goes Paul Kupfer back from center. Well, that's 2 men in motion, and that's a 5-yard penalty.
False start. Offense. Repeat first down.
So 1st and 15 for PW as they trail 21-7. They are in Central Bucks West territory at the 43-yard line as the referee puts the ball back in play. Kupfer on 1st and 15, maybe an opportunity to pass.
Well, here is where West really needs to stand up. They got the break on the penalty. Now PW's got to get 15 yards. A 4-yard crack on a first down play is not going to do you a whole lot. So they've got to look here and make a big defensive play right here.
Stu Kupfer goes to the top of your screen, and now it's Kelly in motion as Kupfer hands to Scott, and if Scott can get the corner, Potter's going to trace him down. Nice play by Potter. 2 speed guys, and this time the nod goes to Potter.
And there's your defensive play. That's the play that Scott scored the touchdown on in the first half. He gets outside the first time. Corey Potter comes up. What have we said about Corey Potter? A leader, an athlete, a great player. Comes up from his defensive spot, cuts the legs up, because I'll tell you what, Chris, if he doesn't, he's got 6. I'm not even going to hedge. He's got 6.
Yeah, that was the play. Whenever you can get Scott to the open side of the field, he certainly can give you something to talk about. He had the one long run, the 52-yarder, about midway through the second quarter. Nice play, very athletic play by Potter that time. Now PW having problems getting the play in from the sideline. They will take the timeout, and as they do, we'll take the time to remind you to watch Sportsline, brand spanking new every Tuesday evening, preceding SCT Sports Weekly during the fall season. That's right here on Channel 9 at 8 o'clock.
Now, this makes it a lot easier for West because it almost forces PW into a passing situation. The best thing that PW can do right now is put the ball on the ground, because what they're going to be looking for is if Kelly goes up the middle, he'll get his 5-6 yards. You're still 11 yards shy of the first down. What West has to do is what they did in the first half in this situation. They have to make sure they got their men covered and then come in after Kupfer and force him to the outside rolling out.
Play I'd like here, quite frankly, is a screen.
I was just thinking that. That's the play I would call here. I'd go back, go for the over pursuit possibly, hoping on that for West. And I'm sure Carey's talking to West about that right now. And try and hit Scott with some type of a pass that he can take on a screen.
West playing their 4-4, as they usually do. And now for Plymouth-Whitemarsh, Quinn comes out here in the slot, and there goes Scott in motion. You would think they're coming right side with this pass play, and indeed they do. They go over the center. That was tipped at the line of scrimmage. That's why everybody was diving around there. That pass intended that time for Quinn, who was the short guy out, and the pass was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
And Scott showed short, and the defensive back stayed about 5 yards away. So Kupfer had no alternative but to throw it down the middle. I think he may have wanted Scott originally.
West now, another opportunity. They go to their 4 defensive back package, if you will, as Joe Wilson comes out and Brian O'Haron comes in on 3rd and 16. And here's a place where PW could get bogged down. They really need to keep moving the ball if they're going to be a factor in this game. Kupfer rolls out. Nice pursuit by West. He does have a receiver open, but nice knockdown, and exactly by the guy who came into the game, O'Haron, the 4th defensive back.
Well, I'll tell you, it wasn't going to be a first down because he was still about 7 yards shy of the sticks. O'Haron comes flying in, taps the ball away from the receiver who I think just had it, but it was, here you go. Now you see it here. This looks for all the world like it's going to be complete. Watch O'Haron come into your screen right here. Nice play.
Nice camera work by our crew. Good job down there by our camera folks. That'll bring up a punt, only the 2nd of the night by Plymouth-Whitemarsh. Low snap, but they do get it off. Nice hang time for Warden. He's going to have his hands full getting much out of this. And Central Bucks West will take the ball. They'll start inside their own 20, about the 16-yard line, but they repelled the opening thrust.
I'll tell you what, Scott Warden has the guts of a burglar. Stands there with the snow coming through the sky. An odd punt, not a real easy catchable punt. People around him, and he will not let the ball bounce and put him too deep. They're not in great field position, but they're in a whole lot better field position if Scott does than if Scott doesn't catch that ball. Now Plymouth-Whitemarsh says, hey, we've got them stuck deep in the territory. We've got to make our stand right now.
And conversely, if you're West, you got the feeling that if you get one here, you could pretty much name the tune. There it is. It's Armstrong, and that's not much on the first play from scrimmage for West on offense in the second half as the snow flurries really begin to intensify now.
Yeah, you can actually see a lot of them now. It's a snowy night. We started this season in 80-degree weather at Poppy Yoder Field. We're coming down toward the finish line in snow at War Memorial. What better way to have it?
I think West is going to take a timeout here, and they are. Gives us the opportunity to step away for just a moment. You're watching District 1 Quad A title game from War Memorial and Doylestown. Our scores, Central Bucks West 27, Plymouth-Whitemarsh 7. We'll be back in just a moment.
Is a gift from the heart. And for years, Gem Jewelers' professional staff has been at the heart of the matter with quality engagement rings, wedding bands, and diamond anniversary rings. Inside our beautiful showroom, you'll find the largest selection and the best values to make your special day or any occasion a treasure you'll remember forever. Plus, Gem Jewelers' gemologist is always on hand to ensure the quality of your diamonds and gemstones. Gem Jewelers, the heart of jewelry, on Route 611 at Bristol Road, Warrington.
And we're back, third quarter action as the snowflakes fall in Doylestown. Central Bucks West in command 21-7. They have the ball 2nd and 10 at their own 16-yard line. We're about halfway through the third quarter. And West right now in a very delicate position of being up 2. If they get one more, you think they're in pretty good shape. This time they send Dave Titus all the way out to the bottom of your screen. He's actually out of the picture. Potter will roll, but he does not get much that time as the Plymouth-Whitemarsh defense smelled that one coming. Nice play that time by 21 Kincaid and 42 Dempsey to stop that one in its tracks.
Now you would think this would be a passing play. They lose yardage. They're back to the 15-yard line. You would think that this would be a passing play. And I don't know. I don't know that I want to throw the ball in this situation. I think I want to keep it, run some type of wide play, see if I can get Warden loose. If he's in the game, is he in there at the, yeah, he's in there at the tailback.
Warden is next to Armstrong. It's Potter under center. And Central Bucks West on 3rd and 12 from the 15. The inside give is to Warden. Not much there Mike Pettine, a conservative call, but I don't think you can fault him. The thing you don't want to do here is give PW excellent field position with a turnover.
Well, they're going to get good field position as you see the West cheerleaders dancing through the snowflakes and tasting some of those snowflakes, the first of the winter. But what PW wants to, they're going to get great field position more than likely unless there's a miracle punt here. I don't know if they want to come after the quarterback or after the kicker, or they want to try to just run a ball back. Looks like they're going to put some pressure on them.
This will be Dan Jarrett, the sophomore, as the kicker. Jarrett will try to get it away from inside his own 10. It's a short kick. Kupfert takes it, and he's immediately tackled at about the 42. That is Paul Kupfert with the, or Stu Kupfer, I should say, with the punt return. He only gets about a yard, but excellent field position, the 41 for PW. Their time to make some noise.
Well, they did about as much as they could do on the punt. It was a nice punt. They did put pressure, did PW, on Jarrett. Jarrett got a nice kick away. Kupfer ran into his own blocker. I thought he had more yardage to get, but they start out in real good position just outside the Bucks' 40-yard line.
The officials are going to be changing footballs, we think, the rest of the way as the snowflakes, as you can see on your screen, continue to mount. Kupfert with a fake. He's going to roll. He's looking for his wide out, and he has him. That's his brother, and he's down the sideline. He's going to go the distance. He's going to go the distance, and that quickly. PW's back in the game on a little flat pass that scores 42 yards. Kupfer to Kupfer, and it's 21-13.
And Tommy White, don't start celebrating quite yet, because this is what can happen. They can score fast. What happened was the linebacker tried for the interception, played the ball. Stuart Kupfer, the Paul Kupfer, threw the ball perfectly, absolutely perfectly. Stuart Kupfer gets it, and there's nobody behind him. Let's take a look. And you see they try to go for the Corey Potter tries to go for the interception. Stuart Kupfer gets it. There's nobody back there. He goes all the way, and it's suddenly 21-13, make that 21-14.
And just that suddenly, Plymouth-Whitemarsh seeming a little bit down. They do Central Bucks West 3 and out. The first play from scrimmage. They run it in, and there it is, 21-14. The Athlete's Foot on 2106 South Eagle Road in Newtown. They're now open, athletic footwear for the athlete, plus the entire family. Sneak in and check it out. The Athlete's Foot, one of our many sponsors here on SCT. So, Plymouth-Whitemarsh answers the bell 21-14, and now if you're West, you got to feel the momentum has shifted a little bit.
Absolutely, because all of a sudden it was West who has not been able to move the ball. Now, granted, they had it way back in their own territory, but the PW had all the answers there. Comes back, gets in great field position, sticks the ball in the end zone. Still 3:19 to go in the third quarter, and this is very much anybody's game. You got a touchdown difference. Now West has got to put together a drive.
And as you can see, as we pull out wide, those snowflakes continue to come. Not quite coating the field, but along the sideline you can see them along with the leaves. And it'll be number 17, the very good kicker, Matt Fold, the senior, to kick off here for Plymouth-Whitemarsh. Warden, one of the two deep return men for Central Bucks West. 21-14 the score. Fold puts a boot into it. He has it down inside the 10. And Central Bucks West returners falls down. Startsman falls down at the 10. Snow might be making the field a little moist for the first time tonight.
Snow and the cold weather. Startsman steps back, tries to come forward, and just as happened to the PW receiver, he falls down. And now, again, even worse field position than before to start out from their own 10-yard line. Now it gets real tough for West, and PW is just going to lay their ears back and go after it.
Helena comes in as Warden comes out, as West goes with more of a power lineup from first down and 10 from the 10. West has to be careful here. A fumble here would just be deadly and really give PW some momentum. Look for Armstrong to bang the ball a little bit to try and give him some room to operate. There's the call. Armstrong chugs forward. He gets about 2 to 3, but boy, those PW kids are fired up. Led that time on the tackling by Tim Fleming, who's played a whale of a game for PW.
He has. He'll get 4 yards on the carry. Actually, not a bad carry. It gets it almost to the 15-yard line. And that's what they really want. The PW kids are fired up, but that's a good play. It gives them a lot more things to do on, many more things to do on second down.
David Armstrong has said all year, I want to go to the States. I want to go to the States. Now he can start to determine the outlook for Central Bucks West here. If they need him now. Potter, Shackleton short on the right-hand side. Armstrong, the sole setback. There's Armstrong again. Plymouth-Whitemarsh keying on him, but they can't get him down. He'll go to the 20, and he should have just enough for the first down.
Boy, he did a little bit of misdirection run, a little bit of Plymouth-Whitemarsh running there. Goes misdirect. He's hit about 2 yards out past the line of scrimmage, and he still is able to stay on his feet. You're right. If CB West is going to hang on and win this, Dave Armstrong is going to carry them on his big shoulders.
We'll bring the sticks across the field for a measurement. Kincaid that time with the tackle, giving away 75 pounds, a gutsy play. But again, if you're going to get Armstrong down, as you see the replay, you'll see the players bounce off of him high. If you're going to get him, you got to get him with a whole bunch of people, or you have to get him low.
You see, they get him around the waist. That's not going to get him. Finally, two of them get low on him, and there's where he'll finally go down, because he got too low and the third guy hits him. And I believe it's a third down. He did not get the first down.
Now, interesting spot. I think he's about half a ball.
Well, I'm not a betting man. If 34 doesn't get that ball on third down, I would be the most shocked person in the stadium.
Yeah, you would think if you have the horse, now's one of those times to ride him. They're going to change out footballs here to give the Central Bucks West center, Velitis, a clean ball to work with here. Reset the sticks. Third and, I got to say, about a half a yard.
Not even that. Foot.
For Central Bucks West. This is where the big horses up front have got to get it done.
The only
for
thing
West.
might happen is Potter might carry it himself, but I don't think so. They give it to Armstrong.
Potter sets him. And it's Armstrong. Big surprise there. And he, I think, got it with a lean.
He got it with a lean. It depends on the spot. I thought he had more room than he did. Yeah, they move it forward. He's got the first down. I don't know. Yeah, they're not going to measure for it. He got well. He had to get just outside the 20. He's well outside the 20. So it's a first down. But what impresses me, again, is they're not getting a lot of push now on the Plymouth-Whitemarsh defensive line. The Colonials are getting the push back at them right now.
Mike Pettine taking his time calling these plays. I think he senses a certain rhythm to this game. And let's face it, if anybody wants time off the clock now, it's West. They're taking their time, grinding the ball on the ground. Potter has yet to throw a forward pass this evening. And at this point, it would be doubtful that he would. They're making the yards on the ground. Polena out front, and Armstrong, and this time it's Potter to the corner, and he gets the corner. And unless Scott gets him, Potter's gone. Scott will slow him, and eventually the rest of the troops show up to tackle him. Nice play, though, by Potter as he goes from his own 22-yard line down to the Plymouth-Whitemarsh 24-yard line. A gain that time of some 46 yards.
And you say, okay, Potter made a great run. He did. Dave Armstrong sets it up. They show it to Armstrong. Everybody pinches in because they figure on first down that's what they're going to run. Potter's around the side, doesn't have the speed of Scott, and only somebody with Scott's speed could have caught Potter. For all the world, I thought he was gone.
Yeah, Scott tracks him down just long enough to bring the rest of the troops. The referees will call a timeout so they can get the stick set and get everybody else squared away.
Now, if Coach Pettine has his way, they'll score, but it'll take them about 3 more minutes to put the ball in the end zone.
Potter comes over to get some mud out of his face gear. And Coach Carey signaling in the plays from the sideline there. Very demonstrative, Coach Carey.
Absolutely. Great player. Of course, played for the national championship team at the University of Pittsburgh.
He had a pretty good running back to help out there.
Yeah, well, you know, being a Penn Stater, I thought he was fair to Midland.
Yeah.
Great team. Great team. There's no
Potter, heavy left-hand side. Armstrong right behind him, and they clear out that left side. He has 2 guys to beat. Very nice tackle again that time by Paul Kupfer along with Kincaid and Fleming over there. As Armstrong looked like he might be able to get a little bit more out of that, but still he picks up 2.
And smartly stayed in bounds. And let the clock wind down. We're inside of 30 seconds to go in the first half. 21-14, CBWS leading Plymouth-Whitemarsh in what has become quite a game.
Certainly has, and West may get one more play off in this, the third quarter. This should just about do it. As West brings in number 44, that's Shackleton. He's going to be flanked sort of parallel to the line. and they go to Armstrong to the left. Armstrong breaks around in, tries to stay in bounds, but eventually gets forced out at about the 10, so they'll get one extra play into the quarter as PW forces Armstrong out at about the 10-yard line with 6 seconds left in the quarter.
But Armstrong, you knew as soon as he had the ball, he had the first down. They had that whole left side cleared out for him, and they moved the sticks nicely. Let's see where the placement of the ball is. As they say he stepped out at around the 12, so it'll be a 1st and 10.
1st and 10 from the 12, so obviously West can still notch one more first down before they would cross the goal line, if they cross the goal line. And for the fans to our right, as we look down on the field, they will probably get to see West run some plays on offense.
Maybe.
In the fourth quarter. We'll see. There's the pitch to Armstrong. Armstrong cuts it in. He's knocked out of bounds at about the 8, maybe the 9 with the lean forward. That will do it for the third quarter. Very impressive quarter by Plymouth-Whitemarsh, but as we come to the end of the quarter, West on the march, trying to reinstate that 14-point lead. As you see the scoreboard, Central Bucks West 21, Plymouth-Whitemarsh 14. Fourth quarter, PIAA District 1, Class Quad A title game action. Still to come in just a moment here on SCTV.
Looking for the perfect pre-owned car? Come to John Altamari Auto. With over 125 quality pre-owned cars in stock, you're sure to find the car you want at the price you want. Choose from luxury cars, vans, sports cars, imports, and four-wheel drives. Every car is warranted for 1 year with current inspection, plus Altamari has a service center on the premises. Bad credit or no credit, Altamari gives you instant approval with as little as $500 down. So, visit our friendly sales staff to help you get the car you want. John Altamari Auto, located on East Lincoln Highway, 100 yards from Reedman's.
CB West 21, Plymouth-Whitemarsh 14. Fourth quarter action just about to come your way. First down to the field real quick. Tom White. Tom, what do you have?
Bob and Chris, just real quick before we start the fourth quarter, it is snowing a little bit harder. The field really hasn't changed condition-wise. West is knocking on the door. Let's go back to you guys in the booth.
And as we do, Corey Potter under center. Strong right formation. Armstrong along with Warden in the backfield, and that's Armstrong. He'll go to the left-hand side, get down to about the 5-yard line, setting up a 3rd and about 3 for West from the 5.
And if anybody besides Dave Armstrong carried the ball here again, I would be shocked.
They've used him a lot tonight, but Armstrong has been up to it. He said coming into the season he wanted to get the States, and obviously West with a touchdown here would make it a lot more difficult for PW to get back into this game.
Although now that I opened my big mouth and said that, you show it to Armstrong like you did with before, and you have Potter. You have a long ways to the right. You're on the left hash mark. It's a lot of room to the right side. Let's see what happens.
What will they call? 3rd and 2, indefinite 4-down territory here. Potter, Armstrong. Armstrong maybe to the 3 or the 2. We'll see how they spot this ball. Our angle is not the best.
Well, if it's not the first down, this is the ball game for Plymouth-Whitemarsh. Right here.
They give it to him. You're at the referees.
Now Plymouth-Whitemarsh has got a problem. They got the ball on the 2-yard, the 3-yard line. They got 4 downs to get in the end zone, and Armstrong's still on the field.
Thanks to our audio crew, Joe Dare and her troops, for getting those microphones out there. Referee coming through telling you first down and goal to go. Good job by our crew all year long, and especially they've risen to the occasion tonight in this title game.
The worse the weather, the better they are.
There you have it. They've had a long day today because they had the Del Valle game earlier this afternoon. First and goal to go from the 2. 2 short backs, Shackleton and Warden. Armstrong behind Potter. You got to think the big guy gets the ball here. He rumbles to the left, and he gets in.
He's in.
Armstrong's in from 2 yards out with a minute and a half gone here in the fourth quarter. Central Bucks West extends its lead to 27-14.
And as I said, you're going to have Dave Armstrong carry on his shoulders. Yeah, the big play of this drive was a long run by Potter. Why did Potter get outside? Because he faked the ball to Armstrong. Everybody's looking for Armstrong. Every other play that was run in that series was run by big number 34. It is his team. It is his game. If they are to go to the Eastern Finals, it will be because of Dave Armstrong.
Patterson's 1 for 2 tonight on the extra points. He's faced a fierce rush. Let's see how he does on this one. Definitely the distance, and they count it. 28-14 the score as the Buck waves the yellow towel. He likes what he's seeing here, and so do the Central Bucks West faithful.
Now, on defense, two people cannot beat you. Scott and Stuart Kupfer. They cannot allow Kupfer to catch passes. They have got to double up on him. So far, if Paul Kupfer has shown one weakness, not weakness, but it's been a tendency to throw the ball mainly to his brother. And why not? It's been successful. So we'll see what happens.
I'd like to thank our folks at PostNet Mail and Parcel Center Packaging and Shipping. They're at 634 York Road, Warminster. Full-service copy and business center for all your needs for business. Stop by and see the folks at PostNet, 634 York Road in Warminster, one of our many sponsors throughout the season here on SCTV. 28-14, 10.5 minutes left. It's not desperation time yet for PW. But every time West scores, that means PW has to score, and they're down 2. So they really need a score here, and they then got to tell the defense, look, you got to stop them.
Okay, Jay. Let's see if they keep the ball on the ground again.
Yeah, so far they've had 2 different types of kicks. The knuckleball has not been real successful.
Different kicker this time.
The grounder has been very good. Jarrett, the punter, will kick off this time. And he kicks a real knuckleball. It'll be Kelly picking this one up, and he comes out to about the 35, 36-yard line. Not sure why the switch, but the results were mediocre.
He's done that before. Pettine has gone to a different kicker, maybe wants to try a different angle. You know, you're going a different way. You know, you're just trying different things out. Now, again, you can't let Stuart Kupfer and James Scott do a job on you. You have got to hold them here. If they're going to score, you got to make them take 5 or 6 minutes. Their scores have come much too quickly, and here's Scott out wide.
Yeah, we thought we'd see Scott out wide if they got behind late in the game. Kupfer with the fake, and then the pass over the middle. Nice pass, and a nice grab and a nice spin move by Kelly. Very impressive move by Kelly as they pick up 20 yards on first down.
These kids are not in the district finals for nothing. They are a championship team that has been playing great football over the last several weeks. They beat who many felt were the top team in the state, Downingtown, and they did it easily last week. This team is not going to roll over and die. Kelly makes a great play, almost spun himself into the end zone.
Very nice play by Kelly and a first down. 1st and 10 now at 45 of West. And this time it's Kelly up the middle and not a whole lot there, but you have to throw some runs into the package just to keep everyone legit. They pick up about 2, brings up 2nd and 8.
Well, they tried a little bit of a draw action there, figuring that West was going to think that they're going to go wide or we're going to throw the ball. Kelly, they stayed home, did a nice job on Kelly. He only gets a yard there, and it makes it 2nd and 9, makes this call a little bit tougher than they've had in the past.
Very impressive so far, PW, on their passing downs. You would think they'd continue to go to the air. Obviously, the snow does not seem to be much of a detriment to Kupfer throwing the ball. He's been on target most of the night tonight. West, with the exception of the 1 sack, has not shown extremely difficult pressure. Scott and Kelly behind the PW quarterback, and there a very nice play that time as Central Bucks West was coming. And your good friend Crognali with a very nice play there.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had a little trouble pronouncing his name last week, but there's no doubt about it. He is one of the big guys in this game. Nick Crognali comes up, one of the co-captains, will not let Scott get to the outside. That's what they need to do. Now it's 3rd down. Now they're in a definite passing situation, and it makes it all the better for West because now they can try and fill those passing lanes.
Well, Heron comes in as they go to their nickel, if you will, package 4 defensive backs. Cahill comes out as they obviously expect a throw here. 44, Jeff Brown to the top. He's been a decoy most of the night. Scott to the bottom, and they're going to try and come to Scott. Now it's a one-on-one game. O'Haron does not get it. That looked like it could have been a clip on the block there, and the Central Bucks West sideline is not happy.
They blew that call. That was a dead-on clip.
Looked like a definite clip.
That was an absolute clip. I'm not being a homer here, Chris. It was very, very clear. He hit him right in the back, and the coaches are beside themselves.
But Scott shows you his elusiveness. He takes the ball from the 40 down to about the
with the help of a clip.
25-yard line. And here's the replay now, Bob. Show him.
Right there. That, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, is what is called a clip.
And once again, if you don't follow football except in the playoffs, that's when you block a guy from behind. Here comes Scott, and boy, does he have room. He's going to go. Nobody's going to catch him. Scott is just too dangerous to let get outside. And from 25 yards out, PW, here they come again.
And it only took him a little over 2.5 minutes to do it, Chris. You've got to be careful. Now, it again is 28-20 with the extra point attempt coming up, and PW will not go away. Scott has kept him in the game. Paul Kupfer has kept him in the game, as has Stuart Kupfer. And Kelly, with a great catch and run, makes it, they come into here. Scott has a big play on third down. You say what you will about it was a clip, it wasn't a clip, whatever. They're in the end zone, and it's 28-20 with a chance to get within a touchdown.
Basic rule we were trying to spit out when Scott got wide is a clip is anytime you can see your opponent's numbers and you hit them from behind. PW will go for 2 here. Interesting call. A lot of misdirection. Kupfer trying to keep it. He breaks it back. Will he get in?
Yep.
Yes, he does get in. Some sloppy tackling that time by Central Bucks West. 28-22. That could be a key 2-pointer down the stretch.
Absolutely, because now with a touchdown, if they score a touchdown, they tie them. They don't have to kick an extra point. They kick the extra point, they can take the lead. And now West's offense has got to do the job.
And I thought that was a good play because we have not seen Kupfer keep it all night.
Absolutely. Big boy. He's a big kid, and he's 6'4", 200 pounds. That's a lot of kid there. And, you know, he comes in there. He avoids one tackle, gets into the end zone. Now it's 28-22, and it's very much a ball game. You know, Tommy White came up here at halftime and said, "Oh yeah, this baby's over." Well, look, guess what? It's not, Chris, and we are going to ride out this last 7 minute, or at least the 7-minute 56-second span of the fourth quarter. Should be a real interesting ride home.
Yeah, and we should also remind you, you know, games of these type do not end in ties. We will be here as long as it takes tonight. We shall see what this brings about, but PW has played a much better second half than they did.
PW's winning the second half is what's happening. West has, they stopped them once, but the other 2 times, PW's put the ball in the end zone, and they've done it quickly.
So this time, another opportunity on what is becoming a slightly slippery field for West to see if they can get some field position, as Fuld will kick things off. And so far tonight, most of his kickoffs have gone to Startsman. Warden's also back there this time. Here's Fuld, and this looks like it will be Warden at about the 10. He'll come out to the 20, the 25. No, it's Ortiz. You're right, Bob. He comes out to about the 27-yard line. Tackled that time by number 26. That's Steve Whitman. Nice play there, and now a very crucial set of downs for the Central Bucks West offense.
There's 7:49 to go in regulation. They have got to melt the clock. Obviously, they would like to score, but if they can't, they want to melt at least 5 to 6 minutes off the clock, give it to them deep in their own territory, and make PW have to throw the ball downfield.
And the thing that is interesting here is the only time that PW stopped them tonight, it was a 3-and-out. That is the last thing West wants to see, as Bob alluded to. They need to take time off the clock, look for the running game, and of course 34 would be the man to look for. Also Potter perhaps on the option. There's the pitch. This time it's Warden to the short side. That gets maybe 2 to 3 yards.
Well, they showed, they decided to go with the speed of Warden following Dave Armstrong. Actually, he'll get about 4 on the carry. It's not as bad as we thought it was. It'll make it a 2nd and 6. Again, their options are widened by the fact that they get that 1 extra yard, because your 4th and 6, it's infinitely different than a 2nd and 6 rather. It's infinitely different than a 2nd and 7.
2nd and 6, as you heard the referee say, and now Polena comes in place of Warden as they go with perhaps a little bit bigger backfield. Formation is spread and strong to the right-hand side. Armstrong the sole setback. Potter takes him under center, sets him, Looked like a little movement on the PW side. Armstrong gets maybe a yard before he's greeted by a whole group of folks. Kincaid, Fleming, Whitman, whole cast of characters in there. Not much running room up front as the Bull Mooses from West get stopped by a smaller Plymouth-Whitemarsh defensive front.
And yet he still got 2 yards just by his strength. Now, if I'm Plymouth-Whitemarsh, I got to say, look out for Potter. Look out for sticking it in Armstrong's belly and Potter carrying it around the left side.
Both sides up. Plymouth-Whitemarsh up and noisy. West up and a bit apprehensive. They've come a long way here, but this is a key down with 7 minutes, now under 7. Potter, fake, keep. Potter picks it up and then some, and he's 1 man away from going the distance. Shoestring tackle by Whitman, and Potter would have had a lot. As it is, he picks up 12.
Corey Potter showing once again why this team is undefeated. Dave Armstrong, great running back. Corey Potter, though, is a leader. Corey Potter is the man. Calls his own number. They call it his number on 3rd down. Armstrong, they buy the fake, and then Armstrong buries his way. You said he carries out a fake so well. He had 2 guys hanging on him. They didn't realize Potter still had the ball.
One thing we should point out, if you have not followed this West program for a quarter century, as Bob and I have, Dave Armstrong's dad played for Mike Pettine. He's well coached from the time he was born. Good fundamental ball player, and here he comes. Not a lot there this time as they're really stacking the middle now. And this is the point where if you're PW, you know what you need to do, you know what you want to do, but this is the point where somebody could bust one around end and make a nice long run out of it.
Second down, 9.
They're extremely conscious of Armstrong inside as he gets 1 on that carry.
I'm looking to see if Warden is in the game. Warden is on the sideline right now. And here he comes back in the game. Watch out for Scott Warden. That's all I'll say right here. Just watch out for Scott Warden.
Warden in, Polena out. 2nd and 9, what would seem like a more likely option or pitch play territory, a speed type territory. And Bob called it right. There's Warden. He gets maybe 2 yards. Maybe with a lean, they'll give him an extra half yard or a yard. But now that sets up a very interesting call on 3rd and 6.
Well, they have the wide left again. They have a lot of different things they can do. And Potter created a lot of havoc, rolling to his left, pump faking and going. Remember, he can throw the ball off of that rollout. I think you're going to see some type of a rollout left here. I think you're going to see Potter carry the ball, following his blockers, and if he has a man open, he'll throw to him. If not, he'll carry it himself. I think this is Corey Potter's carry.
All righty. Carry comes down to the bottom of your screen. Strong right as Shackleton lines up in front of Warden. Armstrong is to Warden's left. And they come and they fake it, and this is Potter. Potter will dive forward, and he gets plenty of yardage.
What a run.
Finally gets knocked out of bounds by Whitman. And again, that same play worked. And Potter is letting everybody know he be the man.
Corey Potter is a big league leader. You are looking at a man carrying that he and Armstrong are just doing a sensational job. Watch this. He should be stopped. I mean, he should have been stopped here. He should have been stopped here. He should have been stopped as he's coming toward you now. And he still keeps his feet, gets another 10 yards. You are looking at one of the true stars of this league.
4 tacklers miss. Finally, it's Whitman getting out of bounds as we come back live. And now you feel the shift again. The PW sideline that was up on that 3rd down 2 series ago, now they're quiet, and the West side is up, and they're standing and looking and saying, yeah, okay, we can get this solved.
You've got 4:40 to go in regulation. West has moved the ball and, more importantly, has made emotional plays on big 3rd down plays. They now have the ball at the 27-yard line of Plymouth-Whitemarsh, and now they're more into Armstrong territory.
Strong right. Here comes Armstrong. He'll pick up 2, 3. He'll pick up some people with him. Seemingly 9 out of the 11 white jerseys
and he's
are
still
there
on his feet
to stop him. He does not go down. I'm going to say something that, you know, I've said to a couple of people this year, and they look at you like you're strange. This may not be his best sport. He is a tremendous wrestler.
Oh,
he
absolutely.
Has great balance.
He's a state championship caliber wrestler.
So, you know, it just shows you how talented this young man is, and I know we've talked a lot about him tonight. very similar to his dad, who was an outstanding football player and wrestler in the middle 70s and late 70s here at West. Great coaching through the youth program in the Doylestown and Warrington areas. And tonight, West is using him and using him hard, which is what they should be doing with 4 minutes left. And once again, it's Armstrong. He's up the middle, and he'll go. No one will stop him till he gets down to the 2-yard line. That pretty much puts the icing on the cake, you would think.
Not quite yet. Let's let him get in the end zone, but there's 3:44 to go. The clock will run once they set the sticks. And you know they'll take their time here. And if they do put the ball in the end zone, it'll be PW will have 3 minutes to try and score, make 2 scores here. But they're going to let the clock run down a little, melt as much clock as they can. And again, I'll be shocked if anybody but number 34 carries the ball down here.
Polena comes in. Warden, who has been valiant in this second half, playing obviously with some injury. He did not play a great deal in the first, comes out. Potter, and they have everybody in tight. And here's the handoff to Armstrong, and
so
he's
what?
in.
Everybody in tight, so he just goes outside. Makes it 34-22. With the extra point, they can go up 13 now. We'll see if they go for 2 points.
Yeah, I would think here, being up 12, you'd talk yourself into going for 2. Obviously, to make it a 14-point game.
I think they'll call timeout and talk about it here.
Yeah, that seems to be, yep, you called that one. Coach Carey was talking to Coach Pettine, and they've decided, all right, let's think about this. This is a key play here.
Called it. He did.
Yeah, it is a key play. They're up right now by 12 points. Now that means that PW has to score 2 touchdowns, not a touchdown and a field goal. They can get a touchdown, 2 points, and a field goal. Going up by 14 points means they have to score a touchdown and get extra points on each play, or get 8 and then 6. I don't know. I mean, if they go up 15 points, again, it makes it tough for Plymouth-Whitemarsh. So, you know, and it's a big call here. I think, obviously, with calling the timeout, they want to set up the right play here. And I think the right play here might be to use Mr. Armstrong as a decoy.
Yeah, I think so. A very, very extremely intelligent second half by Plymouth-Whitemarsh after really looking outplayed and outmanned in the first half. They really had controlled the third quarter and the early fourth, but every time the bell's been rung, West has answered the bell.
You know what? As much as we talked about it, they've only stopped the Bucks once this game. Every other time, the Bucks have put it in the end zone.
And West has mastered ball control tonight. All of these drives have been 5, 6, 7 minutes. They've been very long, very coherent drives. And West, assuming that they can score here and get things done, will win tonight without having thrown a single forward pass. Here's Potter under center. This will be Polena in motion. Potter will keep on the option. And does he get in? He does get in. He just barely gets in, but just barely does it. 36-22 your score, as there's some discussion down near the goal line as to who got in and by how much, but Potter was signaled as being in.
Perfect position. He made no question about it. All the ball has to do is get out. The man doesn't, the ball does. Side judge saw that ball clear the goal line. It's in. It's 2 points. It's 36-22. We have 3:13 to go in regulation. Now that you're going to see Paul Kupfer start to fill the air with passes.
Yeah, I think so. I think there are no other options other than maybe getting the very elusive and slippery Mr. Scott outside. And, you know, in what has been a interesting night of football, he has been their best weapon, bar none.
Absolutely. Now on the kickoff, I think you got to kick the ball on the ground. The 2 times they've kicked the ball on the ground, it's been successful for them. They put the ball in the air on the kickoff and given them all up in the 35, 40-yard line. Now you kick the ground ball again.
And as you can see, still some snow flurries, but the snow flurries have definitely calmed down from where they were in the third quarter. We were rolling along pretty well.
But the Central Bucks West fans, it's 75 degrees and sunny right now.
Yeah, they're already starting to think, who's next and where do we play next week?
Altoona in December. What a lovely trip.
Yeah, it certainly is, but believe me, they'll make that trip out the turnpike anytime you ask them to.
You better believe it. You better believe that.
This will be Jarrett this time. Last time he kicked the knuckler. Patterson had been kicking off tonight, and there's the ground ball. That's the one that Bob likes. And again, it drains Quinn. But Quinn gets a little misdirection, and now all of a sudden he only has a couple of men to beat, and he beats one, but not everybody.
But see what happened there, what'll happen when a player bobbles the kickoff, your special teams, and God knows we've seen it all season long with the Eagles, they will have a tendency to bunch in. What Kelly saw was his contain man go inside. He goes outside the contain, and he almost busted it up the sideline.
Yeah, the rhythm of the play got a little out of sync there, and it worked to PW's advantage. 42-yard line, 1st and 10, 3 minutes and 2 ticks left on the clock, so they got a lot to do in 182 seconds.
Yeah, but they've moved quickly.
Here's Kupfer, he's back, and he throws that one behind his receiver. That's the first time all night he's tried to go to Brown, and it wasn't successful.
And there were 8 black jerseys in the defensive backfield. If Kupfer was going to, he's going to have to put the thread right through the eye of the needle if he's going to do something here. They are not going to allow him to go deep. They're not going to allow him to go wide. At this point, with a 3-man rush, there's 2:56 to go. You try and move the ball down, but you might try a sprint-out draw here.
Yeah, West drops out of their traditional 4-4 into more of a 3-4 or a 4-3, depending on how you want to look at the guy who's standing up. And now they will look to get some pursuit. This is Kelly in motion. And Kupfer rolls against himself to the left. He does have a receiver, and it is caught.
But it's not a first down. The clock will move.
No, you're right. He goes to his brother. That's Stuart Kupfer, but that's only good for about 8 yards. So the clock continues to roll here. They'll bring in a clean ball.
Okay. And I am shocked that Plymouth-Whitemarsh is taking so much time here. They burned off almost 15 seconds off the clock.
3rd and 1, the referee steps away from the ball. PW will put it in play, definite 4-down territory. Kupfer rolls, he's looking. And
ball's batted.
It's batted, yeah. Nice play by Central Bucks West up front. Receiver looked like he was open for just a second.
Yeah, it was tipped. I'm a little surprised he threw on 3rd and real short, because if he hands it off and he gets the first down, and they have shown him the ability to get the half yard, the clock stops anyway, and he can spike it if he wants to, or he can set himself up on a play.
Here the referees talking to each other as they wanted to make sure they have their assignment straight. 4th and 1, and this is the season for PW.
Oh, absolutely.
They have to convert this here, and quite frankly, well, it would be easy to pick this up on a running play.
They should just run it.
It'll chew up some big clock if they do. And it's Quinn, gutsy run. He's been underused tonight, perhaps, but he's been very good. Quinn picks up about 4 or 5 yards as West is playing.
No, I think PW has called a time. No.
We have a timeout. First down this way.
Yeah, PW calls a timeout.
Yep.
White calls time.
PW
Number 11.
PW calls the timeout. It gives us a chance to remind you that To Your Health is on the air, produced by the Bucks County Physicians and Hospital Alliance, Wednesday evenings at 7:30. To Your Health, right here on SCT.
Well, the situation is this: 2:09 to go in regulation. PW has the ball at the CB West 44-yard line. They are down by 14 points. They have used, I believe that was their 2nd timeout of the half. They are in what I would call a very difficult situation. They need to score and score right now. And right now, why don't we take a look at Tommy White's down the field. What's going on down there, Tommy?
Chris and Bob, great night for the Bucks here in War Memorial Field. I know that the alumni got a little nervous when they went up when the score was 21-14, but everybody was saying, let's just go back to what got us here. Inside the tackles, Dave Armstrong, Corey Potter outside. Big night for the Bucks. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Tommy. Kupfer, and there's Scott. Boy, has he been dangerous tonight. He is amazingly agile. And you got to think somebody's going to offer him a chance to play some college ball.
Oh, you got to think absolutely. Now that'll move. That should move the sticks. Or did they get the first? And now if I'm Plymouth-Whitemarsh, I call for a measurement. They move the clock. They're moving the sticks, but the clock moves while the sticks are moving. And that's a break for CB West. And now Ward will tackle him in the backfield. As I'm taking a little of Chris's thunder away, but I'm watching the sticks, and they haven't been moved yet, and they must start the clock. That's a big break for West.
Yeah, the misdirection there with Kelly, and quite frankly, it's a little late in the day to be running misdirection. It's time to pass the ball if you're PW. They got to get a score on the board here if they're going to have any chance at all. There's the pass. Nice catch there. First one of the evening by Brown. And they do give him the catch. That also stops the clock so they can move the sticks, finally. And PW, obviously, if they're not going to win this thing, a lot of pride over there. They want to make it as close as possible.
Well, they're in the hurry up now. Clock stops now. They stop while the sticks move.
Inside of a minute 20, Kupfer calling out the signals. You get the idea that they're going to have to throw the ball the rest of the way here. Kupfer gets whammed by Ward. Ward and Buckley as well there, as quite frankly, Kupfer had to hope something was going to happen, and that, I think, would fall under the coverage sack.
But again, you have real good pursuit on your defensive line. They would not allow him to get outside. More than just a coverage sack, he couldn't roll out. Both defensive ends boxed the way they had to. Kupfer had absolutely nowhere to go. PW has to call a timeout. I think that's their last timeout.
Buckley comes up a little bit gimpy from that one. He was in with Ward, and that was sort of a twisting shot. I wonder if he got a knee or a leg there. On a cold night like tonight, though, they all feel like tough hits. Minute 8 left. Now, if you're West, you're thinking ahead a little bit here. We're not sure because they're playing the same time we're doing this game tonight, who they're going to see next week, but you have to think this gives them a lot of confidence, because PW is a team that has bedeviled them the last couple of years, and West finally gets that monkey of having the big aura and the big image and the national rep, but not being able to get into the state playoffs.
Well, I'm going to go the Mike Pettine route. They still got 68 seconds to go in this ball game, in this fourth quarter. I'm not looking ahead quite yet, because I'm telling you right now, you know what I do here? Well, they got him split wide, so forget it. I was going to say, you worked that play around the corner with Scott.
Well, here's where that wooden Indian from Satterton would come in handy, too. Scott's going to try and break it down to the post. They'll throw instead short. Nice cutback. Stuart Kupfer, what a move. The only problem is this is not the time to do it, and there's no timeouts left for PW. They do get the first down. Actually, PW gets a bit of a break because of the first down. They have to move the sticks. That will stop the clock.
Under a minute to go, 57 seconds.
PW from their own, or from West's 8. Good fade pattern, and Kupfer just simply spikes it to try and get some time here.
Kupfer has to be careful on that spike. He spiked it down. He almost hit his center in the back of the foot. And if he does that, that's an ineligible receiver. Right. That's a penalty.
Goal to go. Second down.
I saw a game a few years ago, Chris. They did that. He turned around. He took the snap from center, turned around and threw the ball down. The official, rightfully so, never blew his whistle. That's a lateral.
Yeah, that's true.
And he just stood there while the defense ran over and jumped on the ball. Now, you can't run with a lateral, but that's what it was. He was down around the 3-yard line, turned around and spiked the ball, and to his credit, the referee never blew the whistle.
Somehow that spike took 6 seconds off the clock.
Was it delay a game?
Not sure what that's all about.
Well, I'm real confused here.
Dead ball, delay the game, offense, second down.
I guess I figure they're going to score from 10, they're going to score from 15.
51 seconds.
Don't understand that call. I'm not sure exactly what that was all about, unless, and I can only surmise this, unless they tried to call a timeout they didn't have. That's the only thing we can think of. Kupfer under center. Scott flanked out wide. He will most likely run a post, and he does, but instead the ball's tipped at the line of scrimmage, comes up short. He was trying to go to Quinn that time over the middle.
You know, you wonder if they might not have taken that intentionally to give him more end zone to throw to.
Third down and goal to go.
Third and goal.
Third down and goal to go.
I can't figure. That's the only thing I can think of is they're trying to stretch the field a little bit, give them a chance to run deeper patterns.
Third and goal from the 14 is our audio crew's done a great job, as we've remarked earlier, getting the refs mic'd up tonight. And they've done a good deal of helping us with down and distance tonight. Kupfer under center. Scott in motion. Kupfer with a big rush coming. Comes to Scott. Scott makes a juke move, misses one guy, but
and the
not
clock
both.
will continue to run. He's inbounds.
Shackleton with a nice tackle. Shackleton, an interesting story, a player who came over here from New Jersey this year, first year in the program, and has made a nice, healthy contribution.
You know, he came from a great program. Cherokee's constantly in the state championship battle, too.
Under 20 seconds now as the referees spot the ball. Kupfer calling out signals. Quite frankly, he just has to throw the ball. That's what it's down to. He goes over the middle. Incomplete.
And that's it. That's it.
8 seconds left. 8 seconds left on the clock.
Now you can look ahead, Chris.
But they're
now it's okay.
West comes out because obviously they're out of downs.
And a great big 7'6" monkey has just been taken off the Bucks' back. 2 years of frustration are about to be wiped out because Central Bucks West is about to be crowned the District 1 champion. 8 more seconds, they'll take a knee. They will come off War Memorial Field champions, and they will play for the Eastern Championship and a chance to go to Altoona for all the marbles.
Warden back in the end zone, Armstrong back behind Potter. Potter should take the ball and take the knee, and that's it. Final 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and the long journey of Central Bucks West at District 1 is over for the season. They win the District 1 Quad A title in convincing fashion. A game effort out of PW tonight. 36-22 the final score. A lot of jubilation on the Central Bucks West sideline. The PW kids, obviously, this is disappointing. And now the road cleared to go to the States for Central Bucks West. First the Eastern title. If they can get through that game next week, then it's on to Altoona and Mansion Park. Very impressive win tonight for Mike Pettine's crew. They came out fired up. They played well. They withstood a furious challenge from Plymouth-Whitemarsh in the third and early in the fourth quarter. But really the key to the game, they could not be stopped on offense.
And that's true. And what we want to do, let's take just a quick break right now. I think we can catch our breaths and talk about it a little bit, okay?
We'll step aside. You'll see the score come up on your screen in just a moment as you see the Central Bucks West band rocking and rolling. The final tonight from War Memorial, Central Bucks West 36, Plymouth-Whitemarsh 22. Our post-game activities commence in just a moment here on SCT.
Now, eliminate the drudgery of no-win workouts
and cut your workout time in half.
with a revolutionary fitness flyer from Guthrie Ranker. Other machines can create painful impact on your knees and joints.
But the Fitness Flyer has been biomechanically engineered to work with your body's natural movement.
For a smooth workout that's virtually zero impact. And when you're done,
The Fitness Flyer quickly folds down and rolls away.
for easy storage in a closet or under a bed. Try the Fitness Flyer risk-free for a full 30 days.
For just 4 easy payments of only $49.95. And these special bonuses are yours just for ordering.
Don't walk.
Don't run.
Don't ride.
Just fly with a revolutionary Fitness Flyer.
Call now.
Credit card customers call toll-free. Your Fitness Flyer is backed by a lifetime manufacturer's warranty. And with our 30-day money-back guarantee, you can try the Fitness Flyer in your own home risk-free. Call the toll-free number now.
Back, and you can see the victory party's underway. The gold helmets with those black stars up in the skies tonight as Central Bucks West, a convincing 36-22 win over Plymouth-Whitemarsh. It clears the path to go to the States. In just a couple of moments, we'll be going to Tommy down on the sidelines. But Bob Friedman, real simple. If you can't stop them, you can't beat them. 6 possessions tonight, 5 touchdowns.
That's exactly it, and no passes. It was the Corey Potter, Dave Armstrong show. Corey Potter again showed why he is the leader that he is. Time and time again, on big third down runs, he made the play. And it wasn't all that easy. I mean, it's easy to say, well, they faked Armstrong and everybody went for him. That wasn't the case, especially on that last drive. He made 2 huge runs where he was stopped, really stopped, and would have been 4th down. He just kept on going. 5 times they got the ball, 5 times they put it in the end zone. The 6th time, Plymouth-Whitemarsh stopped them. The other side of the ball, Plymouth-Whitemarsh certainly had a lot of the answers in the second half, but not quite enough, as they scored lightning quick on a couple of touchdowns, and then West just had too many answers for them, and really took control of the game early, scored those 13 unanswered points, and they were never overtaken from that point as they led the entire game.
The only close moment, the 21-14 score, as PW scored on a Cupfer-to-Cupfer pass. As you can see, you saw the West sideline. Everybody's still in the stands having fun. The Plymouth-Whitemarsh side has closed out. Mike Pettine somewhere in the middle of that mass of young men.
Yep. I think they had the trophy ceremony there.
Yeah.
They presented the trophy. But you look at it, this is a game shaper. You say, okay, 21-14, they just have electrified the crowd with that pass to Cupfer to Cupfer. They kick off, and what happens, the receiver for West, Startsman, his knee hits the ground. Again, I still say that's a rule that should be changed. At the 10-yard line, and suddenly it's West with the ball at their own 10-yard line. What do? 90 yards up the field, as easy as you play, please. A couple of big runs. You see the trophy. They are the District 1 champions, and now they'll move on for the Eastern Championship. According to Walter McConish, he thinks that they'll have to play not in the home field of the other team, but in that district.
Yeah, I would think so. You know, if they're going to go out, I would assume they'd either play at J. Bernie Crum in Allentown, or Wilkes-Barre Myers has an AstroTurf field, which will be very convenient for Wyoming Valley West. That's about a 10-minute drive. It'll be about a little under 2 hours to get up here from Doylestown, but still, it doesn't matter. If you have the chance to play, you really don't care where they play.
Well, you're going to win it. If you're going to win it, you're going to have to win it on somebody else's field. And the fact of the matter is that they have gone all along. They've gone all along and have played very well no matter where they played. So what you see them, when you hear them right now, they're cheering. They got the trophy up there. I think that's Greg Ward holding the trophy right now. This is a moment that they can savor. Absolutely can savor. Some of these kids have been in this 3 years. They have been the ones walking off the field with their heads down in the past 2 years as Plymouth-Whitemarsh has stood in the middle. Tonight, the tables have turned.
Certainly have. To recap the scoring, West went up early, as you hear the whoops of joy from the West pack down there. West went up early, 48-yard touchdown run by Warden with 3:12 gone in the first quarter, a 6-play, 71-yard drive. West led 7-0. Then Potter, an 18-yard run with less than a half minute to go in the first quarter. The extra point was not good, 13-0 the score.
Feels great, huh?
Yeah, feels great.
And I think we have Tommy on the field with number 34, Dave Armstrong. Tommy, down to you.
Tom White here with Dave Armstrong. Dave, the monkey is off, CB West back. You beat Plymouth-Whitemarsh in a district playoff game. You're district champions. You stand here in the snow sweating. What can you say?
It's the greatest feeling ever. I don't know how to describe it. It's been 4 years, and every year we've come up short. And this year, my senior year, I guess it's the sweetest. But man, we took the district title and in style, and now we got the playoffs to look forward to, state playoffs. And I'm just really excited to get in. Look forward to the winner.
Talk about that. Talk about your offensive line. You've had a great career. But, you know, this year I talked to Coach Carey about the line that you run behind. Why don't you talk about those guys?
They're amazing, considering how most of them are all juniors. Next year they're going to be back, and they're going to be terrorizing this league again in this district. But, I mean, they knew we were going to come right at them, and Plymouth-Whitemarsh is a real physical team, but our young line handled it well, and, you know, like I say, they're studs. They moved those holes for me, and, you know, I just run through them.
What do you got to say to the rest of the PIAA out there? They're watching tonight. And you got to send a message. You got 3 more games possibly.
Yeah.
What do you got to tell them?
Well, hope to see you, and hope we keep going. You know, I mean, we don't know who we have yet. We'll find out Monday, but we're going to keep working hard, and we're just going to keep coming after whoever we got. We're going to play them like it's our last game ever.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. I know you got a future ahead of here, but you got to stay focused on CB West football for 3 more weeks.
Thank God.
And we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jim, I can hear you. Tom White, Dave Armstrong, great night. We look up to the scoreboard as they blacked it out, 36-22. A valiant effort by Plymouth-Whitemarsh tonight. Never quit. Right down to the last play. We're knocking on the door, but CB West nonetheless holds on. Great victory. Quad A District 1 champions, the Bucks of CB West. Back to Bob and Chris in the booth.
Thanks a lot, Tom. And, you know, you have to give Tommy some credit. He sits down there all night. He freezes his tush off. He gets to talk to Dave Armstrong, and he said 2 scores. 2 scores the difference tonight.
That's exactly
Good call.
Right. He said it was. We were standing in the booth before the game, and Tommy walks in, Mr. Exuberance as usual. And I said, "What do you think?" And Chris said, "Well, what do you think?" And he looks, he winks, he says, 2 scores West.
Yep.
Well,
he called
36-22, 2 scores West. Tom White, prognosticator, and those of you West people think that Tommy White has been CB East's biggest fan. Not tonight, folks. He was all black and gold. As were we. We're very proud to bring you this game tonight. It's been a great game. The weather outside is frightful, but the win is so delightful, Chris.
Yes, it certainly is. Good win for West. Nice effort, obviously, out of Armstrong, who we heard from. Potter, I think, was a key tonight. The studs up front, as Dave called them, led by Velitis. An excellent game out of them, and they did what they needed to do. The only guy they really had trouble with tonight was Scott. Cup for late hit him with some passes, but Scott, in a losing cause, was a lot of football player.
And let's not forget Scotty Warden, who set the tone for this game, busting a 48-yard run to start the game off. He did a nice job. As I said, I don't know if he was dinged or what, but he was used sparingly after that. But a real nice job, and on to the Eastern, and on to the, hopefully, going all the way, football in December. You got to love it.
There you have it. Well, we'd like to thank our crew tonight. Lee Wolf, our director, Joe Dare McAleese for the audio and the electronic graphics, our camera operators who have done double duty today, Delval in the afternoon, and CB West PW tonight, John Stevens, Jeff Nace, and Bob McMahon. Tom White along the sidelines. Bob, it's been a pleasure again to be with you.
Privilege.
And we will be back. Thanksgiving Day, believe it or not, they still play football in some parts of Bucks County.
It's true.
The big one, Quakertown and Penn Ridge, it's for bragging rights in Upper Bucks
County.
County.
Off, what do Quakertown and CB West have in common? They both beat Hatboro Horsham.
There you go. Well, there you have it. Last night, by the way, congratulations to the Panthers, a gutty 3-0 win. Now for Tom, for Bob, Chris Fickus, thanking you for joining us tonight from War Memorial. Our final score once again, Central Bucks West 36, Plymouth-Whitemarsh 22. We'll talk again soon. Have a good evening.